I love it. 6 people in here, 4 likes already. You guys know what you're doing. I'm sure a couple of you already have the messages ready to tell me that we're good to go, that the chat's working, that the volume is working, and we're just gonna get started. As soon as you guys tell me that we're good to go, we'll get started. Oh wow, hear that vibrate? Glad Nick's not in here yet. We gotta turn that on silent. Absolutely. And now it's on silent. Now it's ready to go. Guys, pretty slow day for AMC today. I think you'd have to agree with that. I mean, we're down just a little bit right now, roughly 3%, chilling around that $12 support level that we were talking about. David Johnson says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, David Johnson. Glad to have you in here. Is this your first? I don't remember that name. Is this your first time in here? You haven't chatted too much, or what's going on with that? Let's get to know each other a little bit while these people start rolling in and the stream starts going. I know that everybody's just now getting their notifications. At least I hope people are getting their notifications. Diana says, hey, what's up, Diana? Thanks to the YouTubers, we will squeeze and be wealthier. Thanks to everybody holding the stock, we will squeeze and be wealthier. Not just YouTubers. No, yesterday and today, you're the best. You're the best, David. I'm glad you're in here. Hey, Ebony, what's going on, Ebony? How are you? Christian, hey, Clay, Moon Unit. What's going on, Moon Unit? How are you guys doing? AMC might be down a little bit, but guys, today is still a beautiful day. Finally joined the 1,000 share club today. Javi, very good. Sean Harrigan says, Clay, bro, what's up, Sean Harrigan? How are you doing? Friday afternoon, guys. I believe it's Friday, right? It is Friday. Ooh, aus Frankfurt. Yes, something about Frankfurt. Very good, Consul. Okay, Frankfurt in the house. It's down. It's okay. I keep buying and holding. Christian, it's down a little bit, but did we expect it to go up in a straight line? I didn't expect it to go up in a straight line. I don't know if you guys did. My guy, what's up, Rocket? How are you doing? Glad you're in here nice and early today. Starting a little earlier than usual, but I think that's okay. Get some more people in here. Go on roughly till 5 o'clock or so. Clay, bro, what's up, Carlos? Hold until the hedges bleed like never before, and they will bleed like never before as long as we do not sell them those shares back. That's the plan, guys. If we don't sell them back, the stock goes up. Afternoon, fella. Afternoon. Stan, how are you doing? Just bought another $400 worth. Carlos, very good, very good. What's good, Clay? Johnny, everything's good. Today's a beautiful day, man. Helped my sister a little bit, volunteered at her school today, and I had a good day so far today. What about you guys? I know it's a little slow, people trickling in right now, so before a ton of questions start piling on, hopefully everybody out there is having a good day as well. Let's go, Carlos. Let's go. Buying 2, 12, etc. Okay, there you go. Holding 250 shares, not selling until we reach the moon. Johnny, don't sell them back to the hedge funds. That's where we're going. What happened with Wanda Group? Hamo, we kind of knew that Wanda, these institutional investors, would be selling first, didn't we? Great day. Yes, Sean. It is turning out to be a great day. It's already 9 p.m. in Germany. Holding my beer and holding 380 shares. Consul. All right, 9 p.m. in Germany. Man, your Friday night's already getting started. Okay, I can take that. I can take your Friday night getting started a little earlier than I start mine. Finally reached 2,000 shares. DV, very nice portfolio. Raining in Houston, but I'm loving the day anyway. Carlos, we got to enjoy the rainy days too. Bro, live. What's going on, Stat? How are you? Bro in the house. Chris in the house. Can't believe Louverse to 20K subscribers. I can't believe it either, man. The dude is killing it on subscribers, isn't he? AMC closed at 100K in Germany. Wouldn't we like that? We would like that very much. Another crypto liquidation to cover their position. Sean, I'm telling you, man, they're doing everything they can to keep to keep themselves liquid and to keep the hedge funds from folding and losing out on AMC because they do not want to fall to us. What is Doge at right now? Is it still around 35? Freaking love this community. It's amazing, isn't it, Sean? It is absolutely amazing. All right, here's my watch list. My tablet. I got to get used to the tablet settings. I use it so much on my phone. I got to make sure I stay used to the tablet as well. All this stuff's in different places. Yeah, Doge is still at 35. 166 shares. Hope to buy more. Ray, adding to it regarding your market versus limit order video. Why not having a limit order as if it were a market order? Example, if the 1,000 shares, you can put a limit at $9.99 so we avoid the volatility. If the share's 1,000, you can put the limit at 9.99 so you avoid the volatility. If you're saying the share price was at 1,000, you would put your stop loss at 9.99 then, right? Yeah, you can use orders like that. I mean, it still might not get triggered right at that 9.99 mark. If you use a stop loss that close, like if the share's trading at 1,000 and you put a limit on to sell at 9.99, $999, then yeah, you're almost gonna get triggered immediately, but it would be very much like a market order at that point. Clay Brony, how are you? Daniel, I'm doing great. Wonderful day today. How are you? Will we ever run out of shares to buy? It seems like we keep buying and they keep going through. Carlos, I highly doubt the people who are focusing on a short squeeze will be able to buy up all of the shares of AMC. It does seem like we keep buying and buying and buying, and there's always more shares available. But we got to take a lot of shares from a lot of people before we buy up 493 million shares now. Clay, did you hear his Uncle Benito? No, Lou, I did not see that one. Was that the best funeral story ever or something? I saw the. I haven't watched all of his videos. I've watched a few of them, but I see all of his titles and stuff. Most about ABC, but what are your thoughts on Safe Moon? Johnny, my thoughts on Safe Moon, man. Look, if those kids can keep it going, if they can actually make a project out of it or something, then I think that Safe Moon's got some potential. I really like how Safe Moon burns. Safe Moon is not so safe, Chris. You are correct, but I like how they burn 5% with every transaction. It'll keep you to hold, but also, you got to figure out what are you going to end up using Safe Moon for. If it's supposed to be some sort of an actual currency like Doge could potentially be, it's not going to work out too well with every transaction, them burning 5% and then redistributing that other 5%. So that would make for very expensive transactions. So if they can find a nice balance and keep it going on, I think it's got some potential. But yeah, like Chris said, it's still very risky at this point, not safe. So yeah, man, risk and reward are both there. There's only one Doge. That is correct. SD, what's up, bro? What is up, SD? How are you doing? What are you predicting to see Monday? Hopefully, bounce off this $12 level and a move higher. That's what I would like to see. Great day today. Woo, Tom, it is a very good day today. I hope that everybody else is having a good day as well. Pyramid scheme, Tom, very well could be. Very well could be. People who get in early during pyramid schemes tend to make a lot of money. Absolutely. Arwin, what's up, Clay? What's up, Arwin? Bro, why would not Hedges buy from our brokers in the dark pool? David Johnson, not exactly sure I understood the question correctly. If Hedges are buying and selling big orders, they would like to use dark pools so that they can get a more stable price instead of moving the markets with some of their stuff. But I'm not exactly sure I understood the question fully. If you could rephrase it, if I didn't answer that correctly. Monday should be higher. SD, we hope that Monday is higher. Yes. So sick of these Hedges. Brandon, it's a game, man. It's a waiting game at this point. Somebody's going to fold first. We just have to figure out who it's going to be. Is it going to be us or is it going to be them? I'm very confident that it will be them, but that's the game, man. Who is going to fold first? Lawsuits starting to be filed. Your roommates are next, Clay. My office mates, yes, my office mates are next. I'll warn them after the video and tell them that they should start to become pretty careful because we don't want them. I guess I gotta let them know what's going on out there, right? Wanda, yeah, Wanda's causing some price problems for us, but it's all right. They're getting rid of all their positions, and hopefully those shares are getting into the hands of retail investors who will be holding. Is their stock sell it privately in dark pools? Here, Charles Schwab has their stock sell it privately in dark pools. We would not know the price per share. David, you will know the price per share. Everything is reported post-sale once a transaction takes place in the dark pool. It's not as scary as a lot of people make dark pools out to be. It's just they can get a little bit of a heads up and a little bit of a head start on the price action and on the transactions being public. Not selling, I'm fixing my type. Okay, Tom, I didn't see what your typo was. Oh, okay. Apparently, Tom said he was selling, but then he had a typo. Terrible typo to make, people. Tom, a lot of people might jump on you pretty quick for making that typo, but glad you fixed that typo. When GameStop squeezed in January, if they restricted buying, who was getting all the shares being sold? If they restricted buying, who was getting all the shares being sold? Dana, maybe they had an influx of buy orders come in, so the hedge funds were getting the shares to cover their shorts, or something along those lines. Maybe the market maker was getting them to sell them back to the hedge funds. Okay, I want my 1,000. David Johnson, we want our 1,000. Absolutely. It's a members only club exchange, not for us little people. Sean, that is correct. It's a good way to look at it, man. It's like a private country club for those guys on the hedge funds. It's not as scary, but I wish the information was on a level playing field, right? Watching a video and they said it's similar to a Dutch tulip bulb market. Yeah, know a little bit about the Dutch tulip bulb market, but are you saying AMC is similar to that? I want 4,800 per share. Is that what we're talking about? 4,800 per share, Chris? Thanks, bro. Absolutely, Dana. Thank you for being here. Wanda's exit is the best thing that could have happened. And I agree. And now we got to worry about BlackRock. We got to worry about Vanguard. We got to worry about these institutional investors, guys. They will fold at logical levels, and then when all logic goes out the door, that's when we can take this price to the moon per share, Chris. Very nice. Difficult but doable, I would say. Difficult but doable. We just got to be able to hold out till that level, man. If we can hold out those 87 million shares that the hedge funds owe us, then yeah, I think 4,800 is doable. I think it's difficult, but we can make it. I would never sell. But Clay, what do you think hedges could evade the squeeze? Console, I think they could evade the squeeze. Yes, if they let their egos go and they decide to go ahead and buy back the shares before a margin call would take place, and they did it in very small increments. I do, but it's a test of their egos, man, and I highly doubt that they're going to admit defeat, and I highly doubt that they're going to say, all right, well, these kids win, let's take our shares off the table now. 100 people, only 30 likes. Let's give those likes. Johnny, thank you. Guys, 100 people in here. Don't forget to click that like button. I don't know what it is. I don't want to say that I'm one of the smallest AMC YouTubers out here, but I feel like other live streams get a lot of people quicker, and I don't know if it's because people don't have notifications on, if they go during different times during the day, or if you guys don't click the like button as much, or what the deal is, but I feel like a lot of rooms fill up a lot quicker. They won't admit it, but the price... missed it. They won't admit it, but the price will tell the story. Chris, the price will tell the story. Volume is 44 million. What's up with that? 44 million shares traded hands today. Matthew, I like to see lower volume. I want to see 0 shares being traded. We need AMM instead of Virtue Citadel. It's not the size. It's not the size of the V. It's all YouTube. BVOX, it could be, man. I don't really get it too much, but don't forget to share, guys. If you have Twitter or something, even if you got like 20 followers on Twitter, you're doing better than I am. So don't forget to share this live stream. Share some of the videos too, because my social media game is pretty weak. I just have Twitter, and I started it like last week. Excellent, Nick F. Thank you very much for posting that Twitter link down there. It's not about the size of the channel, but how you use it, Tom. I like the optimism, man. I like the optimism. Happy Friday. Can you please explain RSI and Delta? Yeah, we can talk about RSI, Relative Safety Index, or Relative Strength Index. Are you multicasting? Terrence, no? Is somebody else going on for Claybro right now? I am not currently multicasting. Here I am. Debbie didn't get a notification. Debbie, do you have your notifications turned on? I hope that you do. In AMC stock, in the Reddit subreddit AMC, people are paying billboards to say AMC to the moon. That's a great idea. Worked for Doge. Alex, people are paying a lot of money for a lot of billboards, a lot of airplanes. People are paying a lot of money to advertise AMC. I like the fact that people are getting the word out about AMC, but I want people to make sure that they know what they're investing in, or they know AMC is not an investment. I might say investment, I might mess those words. AMC is a trade, okay? We're not investing in AMC for fundamentals, for the balance sheet, income statement, even for the future fundamentals of AMC. Right now, it's about a short squeeze. We want to see how much the hedge funds will have to pay us to get these shares back. That's the game. Lou versus Wall Street is like the kid who wants to skip school. Lou, that's a pretty good analogy there. I like that. You're investing in the squeeze, that's all. G baby, that is correct. You are looking at the short squeeze play, because if you're looking at anything else, you're never going to get the same share price that you could get during a short squeeze. So that's where the play is at right now, and that's where I want to keep the focus. Just followed you on Twitter. Thank you very much. Sean Fernari, thank you very much for the super sticker. What do we got here? We got the nice bone. What is that, like a little Doge bone? Congratulations, and thank you for the super chat, or the super sticker. I appreciate that. Guys, if you don't know by now, whatever these little super stickers are, however you guys figure out which one you want to send, I got to mimic it some way. There's no chat involved, so it's not a question that I need to answer. So make it a little fun, and we go along with mimicking the super chat. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Clay, I've never heard you cuss like a sailor, and you never will, Lou, and you never will. If you want to pull these videos up in front of your kids, if you want to pull them up in front of your parents, you have no problem doing that. If you want to open them up in a crowded restaurant, you will never hear anything that you shouldn't, unless you don't want to hear something like the price could be lower than 100,000. That would be the only thing that might turn people off. But we try to keep it real here, and we try to keep it, I don't know, PG, whatever, 13 maybe. What are the odds of this pops by Wednesday? Joseph, what are the odds? You're looking for actual odds. I can't give you actual odds because I have no idea. But look, man, if we can bust through $14.50, we can bust through $20 by Wednesday, we are on. Game on, man. It can easily pop if we see that. Easily. Want to max them off the Scarlet Witch. Okay. That's incredible. Something is incredible. Yes, Lou, I agree. Maybe the fact that you can open me up in a crowded restaurant and have no fear, that could be incredible. I don't like looking at my stock portfolio today. It's all red and sad. Jerry, we got days like that, man. We got days when we have to go through the reds. But guess what? That's okay. Green days follow. If another red day follows, green day follow. Guys, it's tough to watch red days, yes. But, I mean, look at the overall trend of the stock market as a whole. Some companies do not go back up, correct? But look at the overall stock market. The overwhelming trend is up. Christian Bostillo 22 with the super chat. Ain't much, but you deserve us for giving us the knowledge and strength to continue to hold. Christian, it is, guys, you say it ain't much, it is much, guys. The super chat is always welcome. I appreciate that, absolutely. It is a very good way. Like, if the chat starts rolling quick, it's a very good way. I will try my absolute best to hold up the chat and answer every single super chat that comes by. But look, you know by now that these live streams that I do are focused on talking with you guys, answering questions, getting rid of doubts in people's minds, whether it's related to AMC or whether it's related to the stock market in general, trading in general, whatever kind of questions you guys have out there, this is the place to ask them. I want to use live streams as a place, instead of just trying to respond to every comment that comes across the video, or just liking a comment that comes across the videos. This is a great place to interact, get to know each other a little bit, kind of get more comfortable with trading, and move on from there. And I want confident investors, confident traders. Clay, bro, what's up? M. James, how are you doing? It's okay to hit a bong. No, don't hit that, especially while trading, if it's while watching your stream. Fruit Bowl, up to you. What hair product do you use, Clay, bro? Kyle Brinkley. I actually don't, listen, I've used several, and I've got several right now, but I don't know the name of my favorite one. I will be putting that, because since Claybro's hair inspired me, I will be putting that down in the link probably tonight, in tonight's video. Hopefully I can get that done. Rocket, thank you for the super chat. Let's see what Rocket's got to say, guys. This is not a commission fee because you are not your financial advisor. It's a super chat. Rocket, I thank you. I thank you very much for making that very clear. We don't say it a ton on here because, guys, hopefully you know by now, and whether or not there's an actual financial advisor on YouTube, the majority of people on YouTube would not hold themselves out to be financial advisors. So as long as I'm not portraying myself as a financial advisor, I'm not going to sit here and tell you every 5 seconds that I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm not going to tell you I'm a financial advisor either. So take it as life advice that we talk about here, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Did you hear about Wanda Group? Aurora, I did hear about Wanda Group getting rid of their shares. I'm all on board with that. I like it. Wyatt, Wanda, yes. Wanda getting rid. I was saying Wyatt getting rid of their shares, but Wyatt, I don't know. Don't get rid of your shares, you said, man. Unless you need that money for something else. But yeah, Wanda getting rid of their shares, guys. I'm on board with that. I like that. But the price didn't drop. Well, hey, they got rid of their. What do you mean, Hamo? They got rid of their shares at 14. Price dropped from 14. Absolutely. I missed the one about the share count. Hey, Clairo, do you think the government will want this to happen and make it happen with all the taxes? I don't think the government's going to want this to happen. I don't think they're involved too much in it. Because, guys, the hedge funds are getting taxed too. So they're making money on their gains. But as far as like the government wanting it to happen, I don't think they're going to be terribly involved. Alex Medina or Alex Medina? Thank you very much for the super chat. Let's see what Alex has to say. AMC may go to 1,000 during the squeeze, but 100,000? Why? 100 million shares sold at 100,000 each. Not sure if all the hedge funds would have that kind of money. Alex, you are absolutely correct, my friend. Hedge funds themselves do not have that kind of money. When people talk about $100,000 per share, they are basically saying all of the money that's out there, all of the hedge funds' money put together, all of the clearinghouses' money put together, all of the DTCC insurance put together, that's where they get those numbers, and that's how they justify those numbers. Now listen, is it going to get that far? I believe that all of the clearinghouses are setting themselves up so that their money doesn't get touched, right? They know that the hedge funds are acting risky, and the stuff that you see with that, like that ICC 007, all these new regulators, or all these new regulations coming out, are basically setting it up so the clearinghouses and the insurance money isn't going to get eaten up. And it might get touched, but they're going to put themselves in a position where they really are not risking all of their capital. So I believe those numbers are going to be a lot higher in that aspect because they would margin call them before we would see that kind of stuff take place. But think about that too, man. There's a lot of people sitting on a lot of shares, and if it did go to $100,000 a share, people are going to be billionaires, right? They're going to be tempted to take that profit when they're millionaires or when they have $100 million in their portfolio. You got to ask, will they really be willing to hold out until they become billionaires? That's a tough one. 1,000 guaranteed. I'm on board for 1,000, Sean. I'm very optimistic that we could reach that if everybody does what they say they're going to do. That's not going to touch the DTCC's insurance. It's not going to touch all the clearinghouses' money. 1,000, in my opinion, would be an excellent squeeze. I would be very happy to see 1,000. I believe that people would be willing to hold out. I believe that people would be very happy to see 1,000, and I believe that would be one of the most historic short squeezes that we've seen so far. I believe it would be awesome. Jay says 8,000. And guys, happy 2,000 to 4,000. You know by now, maybe if you're new in here, I don't know if you're new. If you are new, let me know, because it's always good to know how much I need to explain myself when I talk about these numbers. If you're usually punching numbers in the calculator, yes, M. James, yes. If you're new in here, look, I don't want anybody to think Vigilante. Silence my phone. I did, Vigilante. I did. I see you trying to jump on Nick's job there. But if you're brand new in here, look, I might say I'm optimistic for 1,000. I might say I would love to see 1,000. But I know, and if you've watched any of the videos by now, if you've been in the live streams, I know that it could blow right by 1,000. I know that people might take their profits before 1,000 too, and we might not reach 1,000. But I know that the potential is literally unlimited. What's up, Clay? Hello, everyone. What's up, Joshua? How are you doing today? Why did the hedge go from 90% to 70? Why did the hedges go from 90% to 7.5% interest? Matthew, I believe you're talking about the borrow rate. One of two things can affect the borrow rate, or a combination of both things could affect the borrow rate. So if you want to talk about that for a second, the more shares able to lend out could affect the borrow rate and drive that down. Because, if all retail investors hold the shares and nobody's willing to lend those shares out, then you have to pay more to borrow a share. So the people are willing to lend them out. So if places like BlackRock and Vanguard and all these bigger institutions that are now getting in on these shares, if they're willing to loan them out, that's going to bring the interest rate down. Another reason, they may not be trying to short as many stocks. So if that short interest isn't as large out there, we saw it grow pretty quick, especially when it was around that $20 mark. We saw it grow pretty quick. But if they're kind of dying down on the new short positions that they're adding and trying to get their hands on, that would also drive the borrow rate back down a little bit. It's very supply and demand oriented, and it's a good way to be thinking about that, to know, all right, well, maybe they're not as heavily out there trying to short it as they once were before. I'm very new, T. Marcelo, you are in the right place if you are new, man. Listen, if I miss a question that you guys ask, please do not be afraid to copy and paste it again. I would love to answer every single person. Difficult to see all of the questions, especially if you're new. Don't be afraid. JT Wisco says, Clay Bro. Rogue with a super chat. Thank you. Have you talked about Wanda selling 30 million shares over the last week or so? Rogue, we have not talked about that yet. We can talk a little bit about it now that people are coming in. Look, we knew that Wanda loved that $14 price target from beforehand, right? That was their line in the sand. That was their bread and butter. They wanted to see it the last time we tested it. They definitely wanted to see it this time. If you saw all of the prices that they were able to sell at, it was, I don't think there was one under 14, right? I didn't see a price under 14, or at least an average price under 14, that they were able to get rid of those chunks of shares at. So that is why we saw such a huge resistance level in that $14 to $15 range. And there was a lot of selling pressure from Wanda. But look, I believe it is a good thing, right? I have been an advocate that these institutions, while 14 to 14.98, yeah, it was that whole range. While they have been acting very logically, we can't get mad at the institutions for selling. They're not holding for a short squeeze, right? They know that AMC is overvalued based on its current fundamentals. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not buying AMC for their fundamentals right now. So when Wanda sold, I'm completely okay with that, because I want to see more retail investors, man. If you guys get your friends to check out AMC, if you get your brother or sister to check out AMC, maybe your mom and dad. Look, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to retire on 5 to 10 shares, but if it's something that you want to check out and you're like, hey, yeah, man, it's $10 a share right now. I could go out, I could buy 5, 10 shares, drop $100, and maybe I do end up with somewhere around $5,000 to $10,000 or $50,000 if we're being optimistic. Maybe not life-changing money, but extremely. It's a very risk to reward type of trade. But I believe that if people understand what they're doing, and if they can make that decision for themselves, it's a good thing. So I hope all of those shares that Wanda was selling off were able to get into the hands of retail investors like you and I. Your wife's boyfriend is another one, Irving. Yes, you can tell your wife's boyfriend to come check the channel out and come check out AMC. Hello. Lucy, adding every day. See? And that's a decent strategy, guys. Maybe you don't want to. Lucy adds every. I like Lucy's strategy. Lucy's not too worried about the current price. She's not out there saying that, man, AMC's $12 today. Should I wait till tomorrow where might go to 11 or might go to 13? Slowly add into that portfolio. And then you may not feel like, wow, I just dropped $1,000 or I just dropped $5,000 on AMC. It might not seem as a huge of a chunk. Or if you add a share a day. Guys, those shares, if you add a share a day, it'll add up. I don't think the short squeeze is going to happen, before we bust $14.50 and $20 per share, unless some external regulation comes into play. So you can really add some shares up and get a decent portfolio if it's something that you're looking for. And I think that it could be pretty good over the long run. I averaged up to 1043 as of today. Very nice, Vigilante. And a lot of people think, oh man, I shouldn't I shouldn't average up. I should only average down. Well, hey guys, if you're averaging up, that means you're already profitable on your position, right? You're even when you add those shares in, that number is still green in your portfolio. You're still in the green, and that's a good feeling. You're adding shares, and it doesn't really feel like you're adding shares at that point. A lot of people think you should only average down, but there's something about averaging up too. You're adding to a winning position. So every day in the morning, 50, 60, 70. Nice. David Johnson. Psh, I'll be averaging past 10K, but I won't say I won't. Vigilante, you probably will, man. And that leads me to a good question, guys. I asked this question the other day, but I don't know if all of you guys were in here. Who here would be willing to buy a share of AMC during the squeeze and maybe try to buy AMC at the peak? Like, let's say AMC peaks at $8,000. Would you try to buy a share of AMC at the peak? Chris says he would, and I'm not saying to invest in AMC. You know that share is coming back down, right? You do know it's coming back down. But just to say you got it at there, either whether you leave it in your portfolio, is because, look, if you got a ton of shares in your portfolio and you ride them all the way up to $8,000, you're going to be making some good money, right? Hey, bro, what's up, Big Tone? You're going to be making some very good money. So I think it might be pretty funny to have one in your portfolio with a cost basis of absurd amount that you're losing pretty much 99.99% on after it comes back down. But I didn't know who in here would be crazy enough to do that. I'm on 20 shares, just join for fun. I'm bored. There you go, B-Vox, and nothing wrong with that either. It's something to be a part of. And look, you're 20 shares. Dude, if everybody out there had 20 shares that they were legitimately willing to hold, this thing happens. That's the thing. When AMC squeezes and we crash the entire stock market, we get to use our profits to buy all the blue chip stocks and crypto at massive discounts. We become the ultimate hedge fund retail, baby. Antics. I hope we don't crash the entire market, but you would theoretically be correct. If the market crashed, then yeah, sure. The holders of AMC, if that was the cause of the crash, would be able to go back and buy all the. Would they still be blue chips at that point? They would be able to go buy all of the bigger companies at very nice discounts, and then ride those up when things resurface. Buy 20 more, no sell, just no sell. Don't go AK. Don't got AK. You would probably have AK if you wrote it all the way up, right? Every American should buy at least one share. It's American Multi-Cinema. Hey, Irving, if every American bought one share, the thing would squeeze. I mean, you know it would. If we saw one-sided demand come in at 330 million shares, then yeah, we would see it go up. I think it would buy one share for 1,000. Why not? Lucy, just to watch it. I mean, it's a loss, right? You know it's a guaranteed loss at that point if you leave it in your portfolio, because AMC is not going to hover around 1,000. It's not going to find its floor. It's not going to find its base at 1,000 and then stay there. It will come back down in price. I just had that thought the other day, like, that might be pretty funny, seeing AMC in your portfolio, one share, like $5,000 at 99.99% loss. Did we find out who Wanda is? Well, don't we know who Wanda is? Sean, only use your money that you're okay losing, brother. Carlos, good advice. Good advice. If you use money that you're okay with losing, not to say that you're going to lose your money, right? But nobody should stay up at night wondering what's going to happen the next day. Nobody should lose sleep at night thinking that they're too stressed out about AMC or they're too involved. Because look, guys, there's a lot of people all over the world that can jump in on this thing. So don't feel like you have to be the one to trigger the squeeze, or you have to be the one to, make this thing happen. If we all do our little part, if we all hold a share, then once the hedge funds cover, it's game on. If you shared your position that you have in AMC, Steven or Stefan, sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm not going to say how many shares I have in AMC. I don't want to sway anybody into thinking that they need to buy more or that they have too much or anything like that. I believe my average is at about 980 right now. It was 980 something. It's not 980 flat. It's in the lower 980s. And I just don't. I mean, I know as more people come in here, they join the live stream, they see it in the videos. I don't want anybody to be influenced to do something that they wouldn't be willing to do. Can only play with money I can, not money I can't. There you go, Sean. Only play with money that you can play with, not money that you can't. Clay, need new tires after the squeeze. Kia Forte, trust me, you need new tires for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that you need new tires post squeeze. I 100% agree with you on that one. We saw a partial during the squeeze. Chandler, I think it depends on what prices we get to, man. Like I say, I'm very hopeful to see 1,000. I have no, yeah, Clay. My Kia needs new tires pre-squeeze, but let's wait till after squeeze. I don't drive that many places. You trigger the squeeze for us tomorrow. Very nice, Tom. Very nice. I appreciate that. No, that is private. Something is private. Correct. Why don't they just sell? Why don't they just sell their shorts at a small loss now rather than a large loss later? Abrasive. Excellent question. We talked a little bit about that. If they were to sell now, yes, they could sell their shorts at a small loss, potentially being profitable on some of their shorts, right? But in order to do that, what do they have to admit? They have to admit that they're losing this battle, that AMC is no longer a good short position, that they were wrong on their investment, and that a bunch of dumb kids came out of nowhere and showed them that they made a mistake. And I really don't know if these multi-billionaires will be admitting that sort of mistake in saying that we bought AMC and caused this to happen. Ashley Orr says, what if hedge funds just return a little at a time? Can it still squeeze? Ashley, that is basically what we were just talking about. It would have a very difficult time squeezing at that point. They could buy a little at a time, absolutely. They could keep the price basically right where it's at right now. And no, it would not squeeze higher. But in order to do that, like we said, they would have to be willing to close out those positions and take that loss now and admit, dumb kids, I'm a boomer. Debbie, yes, maybe, but I think that they're looking at a lot of people, and trust me, you see this stuff on Reddit. Debbie, I don't know if you're on Reddit or not, but Reddit's a very dangerous place. Be careful if you're out on Reddit. Yeah, a lot of people say that they eat crayons, that they're monkeys, and there's a lot that goes on, and that's pretty hard. If you're a billionaire and sitting there driving your Ferrari to work and getting in your Bentley and stuff like that, and your Rolls Royce, it's difficult to admit that these kids could outdo you, right? And that's what they're looking at right now. They don't want that to happen. What's the deal with the last couple of days after our boom and strike down pre-market? Daniel, we saw a nice push up after hours that one day, yes, but we've realized that Wanda was able to sell off a lot of shares as well, bringing us back down. But supply and demand and support and resistance are very important when looking at technical trades, and that is exactly what AMC is right now. We know that nobody's pouring into AMC because they love the balance sheet. Guys, AMC is a very heavily indebted company, and revenue is slowly growing, but it's keyword there, slowly growing. They need a lot of work to go to get back where they were, but that's why it's a squeeze right now. That's why it's a technical trade. Hey, Clay, I've seen on Reddit that phantom shares could count in the vote. What do you think about that? Perone Jowl. Nice play on words there. I'm going to say no, man. Phantom shares will not get votes. If you guys see a lot of stuff and talk about the level of corruption and manipulation that would have to take place in order for that to happen, phantom shares will not be counted in votes. And simply speaking, and to sum it up, the only people that actually have votes are shareholders on record. You and I, well, at least I can speak for myself, and I can say you are probably not a shareholder on record. Your broker is the shareholder on record, and then you buy those shares from your broker, and you become the street name owner. That's what they call it, street name owner. They don't exactly know why it's street name. But you're like a proxy holder, right? They stay on record, and then they allow you to cast that vote for them. So they send you the information, and they know the phantom shares that are out there. A lot of people think that they don't know phantom shares that are out there, but the brokers know the phantom shares that are out there. The NSCC and the DTCC and the SEC and whatever C you can come up with, they know the phantom shares that are out there. It's all marked in the back end, and those shares will not be allowed to vote. So let's say let's say Webull, for example, and I'm just using numbers. I don't know how many shares Webull owns. Let's say Webull has 50 million shares that are on record with them. They will cast 50 million votes for AMC. When we cast those votes, they'll cast them accordingly based on how we vote. How June 2nd can impact the stock price. Jonathan, I don't think June 2nd is going to be terribly significant for the stock price. You may see a slight bump up from people wanting to be able to vote that maybe they want to get some more shares in their portfolio, or they currently don't own AMC, but they would like to vote in the upcoming election. You might see a bump up, just like you would see if they announced a dividend or something, people trying to get in last minute on the record date. That's a possibility. I don't see why it would be a reason to sell the stock during that day, but it's not something that's going to reveal phantom shares or anything like that. Never got an email for Irving. It depends on when you held it last time. If you were not a shareholder, I forget what the date was in March, but if you were not a shareholder in March, you would not have got that one. I do not know exactly what's on the ballot yet. Connor, thank you very much for the super sticker. What is this one right here? Connor, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. And if you guys do not know by now, I have to mimic whatever these super stickers are. And that was a goofy one. So thank you very much for that, Connor. I appreciate that. You seem like a sensible guy. Subscribing, thank you. And thank you, Marcelo. I try to do my best, man. I know you can get caught up in all the manipulation and corruption and stuff, and it makes for good entertainment. But I try to base my stuff on what can be proven, what can be reported, and stuff like that. And guys, yeah, you can go down a very big dark hole if you want to get involved in all that, but you don't need all that in order to trigger a short squeeze. Short squeezes happen with much less than we have right now. Rocket, thank you very much for the super chat. Let's see what Rocket has to say, guys. Do the brokers not report to AMC on their current shareholders and how many are owned? Rocket, if you're talking like on a daily basis or whatever, they do report to AMC, but I don't know if they report at any other times, like during the year, other than shareholder meetings and votes like this. So yes, a lot of people, they're looking forward to the number of individual investors. When you look at the vote counts are going to show you the shares outstanding, right? But a lot of people are interested in how many individual accounts are actually holding AMC. And they might try to spin that, right? We knew that 3.2 plus million people held AMC in their accounts at the previous election. Well, let's say now there's 4 million people that are holding AMC, or 5 million people, or 10 million people holding AMC. It doesn't necessarily mean that more shares were created. We diluted Wanda, right? Those shares had to go somewhere. Wanda diluted 30 million shares. Now imagine if 30 million people went out and bought one share, or if 303 million people went out and bought 10 shares. There could potentially be a lot more shareholders out there, individual holders of AMC stock. And some people, they might try to spin that as to there's more shares of AMC outstanding than the 450 million that are being reported. But it doesn't mean that, guys. It just means that institutional shareholders may have been diluted into a lot of that. One big shareholder was diluted down into many, maybe a million small shareholders. Or you and I, maybe we got overextended into our position and we thought, oh, hey, I can't afford to have X amount of shares anymore. I should sell some of these and I feel more comfortable holding a little less. Things like that take place. Hey, Clay, what you put on your pizza, bro? Pizza party after the squeeze. Hey, I'm good with anything, man. We could go Supreme Pizza. We could go Meat Lovers, Simple Pepperoni, whatever you're down for. Nufo, hey, bro, just wanted to wish you a great weekend. Let's have a better next week. Nufo, you as well, man. I still think this week was a pretty good week, guys. I still think it was very good to see us test that 1450. We did drop back down a little bit, but I think this was a great week. And I appreciate everybody being in here. I know Friday afternoons might be a little slower than some other days, but hey, that's okay, right? We're here to chill. We're here to answer these questions. Pineapple and anchovies. M. James, you messing around or are you playing for real? Rocky with another super chat. Let's see what Rocket has to say, guys. Secondly, any way we can collab after this. And by mean collab, I mean best friends. Yes, Rocket. I believe that we're all going to be best friends. You know why I think that we're going to be best friends? A lot of people ask, are you still going to be here post-squeeze? Let's say it goes to $50,000 a share, and you got a ton of money. Guys, I don't know if you realize how much fun I have sitting here talking with everybody, sharing our thoughts on AMC, you know, getting excited about the potential that AMC has during this squeeze. And yeah, we're all going to be very, very good friends post squeeze. I'm not going anywhere. You're going to need something to do, right? If you're not out going to work every day or whatever it is, you're going to need something to do, and we're all going to hang out and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be good. We got to invest our money in something post squeeze anyway, right? We got to provide ourselves some sort of supplemental income. Well, they also announced how many shareholders there are during the recount. What if it's 5 million shareholders now? Henry, that is something that I would expect them to be able to tell us during the count. Absolutely. And like I said, if there's 5 million shareholders now, it doesn't necessarily mean that more shares were given. A lot of people think, and here, I don't want anybody to get upset with this, but a lot of people think that every single person holding AMC is holding AMC and they're not selling it. All 221 of us in here, we might be holding AMC and not selling it, not day trading and swing trading and taking these profits. But a lot of people out there, guys, they're not holding it. So there's shares changing hands every day. What was volume today? Did somebody say 60 million? Is the shares that traded hands already so far today? I got to find it now. What are we at? 48 million volume right now? 48 million shares that changed hands. Are you confident in the squeeze regardless of price peak predictions? Sean, I'm confident in the squeeze for one reason. Those shares will be covered, okay? I'm confident 100% that those shares will be covered. Absolutely. Now, the only doubt that I have is how quick they're going to be covered, how fast these hedge funds are going to go out there. Claybro's dad. Wow, Dad, you've been working out, man. Nice. I love it. Claybro, can you say goodbye to Rocket Man's house? He's very bad influence. No, absolutely. Sean Fernari, thank you very much for the super chat. Sean, if you had a question that did not, there we go. Clay, if I'm all in at 1,800 shares and have no more new money to put in, what is the strategy to get my average down? Sean, if you are all in right now and you do not have any more shares, here's a strategy to get your average down, and this may not be one that I would recommend. Because look, at the end of the day, Lonnie, I'll get you real quick, man. At the end of the day, I don't recommend day trading and swing trading AMC. It's not something that I believe is going to help the short squeeze at all. But if you're looking to get your average down and you're not willing to add more money to your portfolio and you don't want to sell any of your other positions or anything like that, what can you do? You could sell partial positions at levels of resistance and then hope that the squeeze doesn't take place and allow maybe we bounce back off that resistance level like we saw 1450. If it bounced back down to the $12 range, that would be a sensible approach to try and get your average down if you weren't willing to add any more positions to your portfolio. Now, that being said, guys, I know people are out there swing trading, and I know people are out there day trading AMC. It's evident in the volume. But with that being said, know that creates more shares, and you do not know who you're selling those shares to. I wouldn't be too worried that you're selling them directly to hedge funds, but it's always a possibility. And that is really the only way that you would be able to get your position down if without adding to the position would be to sell off a little bit and buy back in and so on. And then Lonnie with a super chat. Thank you very much, Lonnie Benjamin. Let's see what he's got to say. So did I understand that correctly, that hedge funds could release all of their short positions and buy AMC back slowly to keep it from happening? Lonnie, you understood that correctly, man. Here's the thing. They could absolutely buy back slowly. There's when we talk about a short squeeze, one of the things that's going to trigger a very violent short squeeze, and that's what I want to see, a very intense short squeeze, is a margin call. That being because the lenders, the clearinghouses out there say, you're no longer risking our money, guys. Go get rid of AMC. It's not a good trade at this point. You're going to lose money on it, and you're going to lose our money on it. So they would margin call them. That would require them to go and buy back and make sure that they have the liquidity on hand that they need. Now, if they wanted to, the hedge funds could admit defeat. Lonnie, a paper hand. No, baby Jesus. Lonnie is not a paper hand. He's asking very good questions. If the hedge funds wanted to admit that their position in AMC was no longer a good position, if they wanted to admit that these kids out there outdid us. They beat us. They pushed the price of AMC up. We lose. If they were able to admit that to themselves, to the world, because the world is focused on AMC right now. If they were able to admit that, then yes, they could slowly go out and buy their positions back. But I always follow that up with, I believe that would be a very difficult thing for them to admit. That's correct, Chris. I believe it's going to be a very difficult thing for them to admit defeat and say that, okay, we made a mistake investing in AMC. We lost a lot of money on it, and we're willing to go out and not only admit that loss, but write that loss down on our books and cover those shares. I feel like they would much rather drag this thing out and see if they could outlast us. Martin Davies with a super chat. Thank you very much, Martin Davies. What do we have here? What are we waiting for now then? What's the catalyst that's going to pump AMC? A lot of apes are getting impatient, not seeing how it will happen. Martin, very excellent question. There are several things that could happen that would allow this AMC stock squeeze to occur. One being a drastic increase in price. Okay, we do have to bust through some very good levels of resistance to get there, but a move up in price basically puts a loss on the hedge fund's books. They can't deal with that loss, and that would be a very good thing to see. Another thing to see, which a lot of people might disagree with me about, but it also adds to the risk for hedge funds. If nobody actually traded their shares of AMC, because you can see 50 million shares being traded a day is a lot of shares, guys, especially when you're talking about squeezing these hedge funds. If the hedge funds know that they can cover all their positions in a day or two, they're not worried. But if we get volume down to 10 million, 5 million shares a day, maybe we won't see such drastic moves in price, but the hedge funds are going to know, oh crap, this could take us a month to cover all of our short positions right now. That's bad news. We can't just go out and generate that liquidity. These kids really aren't willing to sell their shares, and we're not going to be able to cover. That adds to their risk. That's something that they look at when determining how liquid their asset is. If they can't sell it, that's bad news for them. Right now, they're not worried. But if volume went lower, that's something that we could easily control as investors. It might be more difficult for us to drive the price up if we're not able to add positions to our portfolios, but not selling those positions directly affects the volume. And then finally, a third thing that can come into play is new regulation, like you see with the ICC 007, these new rules that come out. And when the clearinghouses and the lenders and intermediaries get nervous that they could lose money, they tighten the regulations, and that could also be something that really trips this thing into jumping higher. Nick transferred from Robinhood today from Robinhood to Webull. Is that a mistake? Nick, I do not believe that is a mistake. It is only a mistake if you did not use the link in the description below and use that Webull link down there. That would be the mistake. Paper hands say, what? Tom, paper hands say, no, guys. Paper hands, okay, if you're taking like a 5% gain on AMC and you're completely cool with that, that might be paper hands. But people who are going to be willing to sell at $1,000 per share, $500 per share, really change the lives of them and their families, we have to respect the fact that people are actually out there changing their lives. Nobody's going to stop the short squeeze by going out and selling a few shares. Smash that like button, bros. Thank you very much, Jeremy W. Smash that like button. Guys, 250 people in here, 104 likes. Let's make something happen. Does low volume mean people are holding? Yes. Michi, low volume is a direct indicator that people are holding the stock. They are not selling the stock. No sale. I sold BNGO at a loss. That's okay, though. Losses happen, guys. Not everybody's profitable on every position in their portfolio. Is lower averaging important at this point? Christopher, it's not one of the most drastic things that is going to change. I mean, think about it. Even if your position's at $14 right now and you average down to $12, $10, if you're holding for the squeeze and it pops to $1,000 a share, $100 a share, $10,000 a share, you're not going to be too upset at that point because you were in at $12 instead of $10. If you're looking to make 10% on AMC, then yeah, averaging would be helpful. Are the corrupt hedge funds going to just keep rinsing and repeating over and over and keep getting away with it? Nick, Yes, they absolutely will. They absolutely will, Nick. Yes, they will. As long as they can do this, as long as they can get away with it, yeah, man, they're going to drag this thing out. They're going to play it. Because, look, did anybody, I want to know right now in the comments, say yes or no. Did you see the video that I did with the spring? I want to know how many people in here actually watched that so I don't have to go too far into detail. Say yes or no if you watched the video I had with the spring. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yes, no, yes, no. Yes, no. All right, we get a pretty split crowd here. Yes, no, no, no. Okay. Look, we'll briefly go over that. It's like a spring right now, guys. We're down here. We're trying to apply upward pressure. Imagine a spring in here. You can watch the video and go back if you need to. The hedge funds are up top applying downward pressure, okay? They want to put us down. We want to put the stock up. They're applying pressure. We're applying pressure. When the stock is steady, we're basically applying equal amounts of pressure. If we hold and they hold, what's the spring going to do? If we're just sitting here like this, what's the spring going to do? It's just going to sit there as well. So the price isn't going to shoot up. We're not going to see the squeeze happen. It's just we're playing a waiting game at this point. Now, the beautiful thing is they're going to run out of short sales or short stocks that they're able to short. They're going to run out of short interest, right? Nobody's going to lend them the stocks. So eventually they run out of shorts. And if we just continue to hold, yeah, we need to apply more pressure, right? We need to apply that buying pressure. And if we can apply that buying pressure, we eventually pop them because they can't continue to keep that pressure on us. And that's when this, like if you had a spring here and the pressure was finally great enough and blew the top off, that's when the price shoots up. This is a long fight. Hey, Mean Joe Nah, this is a long fight. Absolutely. Thank you very much for linking that video, Nick. If you guys want to check out the spring video, there's a link for it right there. This is a long fight. You are correct. But think about it. There's hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, on the line for this stock. It's not something that's just going to happen overnight. The scale of what's happening here is very big. So you should expect it to be fought after. They're not just going to hand over that money. I wouldn't expect you to hand that money over to them either. If you hold, they don't have shares to short, then the pop happens. Buy and hold. Some dork. That is correct. If they don't have shares available to short, if they cannot continue applying that downward pressure, because that's what drives the stock price down, guys. That's why they got it down to $2 before. They continued to short that stock, and they continued applying that downward pressure. That's where they got where they're at right now. But we're applying the upward pressure, and we brought it back from $2 to $14. So, yeah, it's a battle, and it will take a while, yes. But who folds first? Well, you might get tired of just waiting, but at the end of the day, is it really that hard just to wait? Who folds first when 100 billion, if not trillions of dollars are on the line? We got 3 minutes left in the close. What are we at right now, guys? I'm going to turn my tablet on and see what we're at. It wasn't June 2nd report, now moved to July 29th. It was not moved. They were just, instead of announcing anything the week of on how many shareholders are actually out there, they're just going to announce all that stuff. But look, I don't think that's that big of a deal, right? If you haven't seen the videos on it, it's not that big of a deal. We need to keep buying and holding, buying and holding. Lucy, if we do that, the buying pressure continues up, and we are not moving that floor. If we don't sell those shares, it's just every time we move up, it keeps that bottom line, and then eventually they bust. Trying hard to get it below $12. I imagine they are. But, hey, the good news is there's support right there at that $12 line. Some dork, you just don't sell. You keep that pressure on the bottom, right? If you don't sell, this line doesn't move. If people sell, okay, they might bring us down a little bit. If we can push them up, it's perfect. Don't let your fear make you sell. Debbie, that's an excellent way to look at it. If you start to get scared and then you sell, if you see a little dip, it just adds to it. Could a potential $1,000 share happen before a full count? Yeah, Tipsy Penguin, because I don't understand why everybody's so worried about the count that's coming up. I don't think the count's going to show us or do anything for this squeeze. Holding 2408 shares, pray this thing squeezes. DJ, absolutely. That's going to be, it's going to be very, very, very nice for you. See a dip, you buy more. Nefster. Adding to your positions. I like it. Love fighting the hedgies. Knock them out, baby. Yes. Swing trade till the decisions get closer. You could swing trade till the decision gets closer. Absolutely. It's going to be... Swing trading, in my opinion, is not something that is going to be that beneficial to make the squeeze happen. But it's a strategy. If you want to make a couple bucks here and there, I wouldn't advocate it. Can I buy after market closes? Yes, you can. Well, it depends on your broker, I guess. Everybody hit that like button. Do it for Clay. Jared, thank you very much. 241 people in here. I know we can get these likes up to 200 likes. I know we can do it. All right, where do we close at, guys? I'm showing 1209. Where do we close? I'm showing 1209 right now. Let us know what you guys got on your broker and where we closed. Watch price go up after hour. Yeah, I would. Hey, DJ, I would love it. Swing trade other stocks. Okay, yeah. Rocket. Absolutely. You can swing trade some other stocks, make some profit, add them into AMC if you want, or continue to swing trade other stocks. Nvidia is going to split. Should I buy one share? Frank, if you like Nvidia. So it really takes 7 to 10 business days for your stocks to show up on Webull from transferring to Robinhood. No, Nick. Everything I've seen says 5 is the average. So 3 to 5 days, you should see them. Free Clipper G-strings if it gets over 200 likes. Yeah. Are you distributing those, Chris? Would those be coming from you? Would you recommend buying more AMC next week? Nufo, if we bounce off this $12 level of support and you are comfortable adding more positions to your portfolio, I don't see why not. If you don't want to add more positions to your portfolio and you're comfortable where you're at, then the game is to hold, right? Clay, who's your broker if you don't mind me asking? I use Webull, M. James. I use Webull. Link in the description below if you would like to sign up, get some free stocks. Always helps. And look, guys, if you're talking about switching to Webull, use a link, whether it's my link or another YouTuber's link or one of your friends' links, whatever. Use a link because everybody benefits from it. So just use a link. Don't forget to use a link when you're signing up for Webull. Whether you're transferring or you don't even have any stocks yet and you're thinking about getting stocks, use a link from somebody. Thank you very much for posting that link there, Nick. That is the link for Webull if you guys would like to sign up. The count is important if for some reason they are 100% sold. Well, we're going to see that we're going to see the amount of shares outstanding during that, Henry. Wanda dumped all their shares. That's been dropping the price all week. Any thoughts? SK, I believe that has contributed to the price dropping during the week. Absolutely. I think it's a good thing, man. We know that $14 mark was an excellent mark where they wanted to get out last time. We kind of expected them to get out around the same level this time. We knew that institutions would be selling first. They're the weakest link. Lucy's showing 1213. I'm still showing 1209. Anybody else got a different... Or maybe she's talking after hours. Well, yes, the recount is very important, but I don't know what you mean by 100% sold. And then Wanda, yeah, I think it's a good thing if these shares that Wanda was selling off go to retail investors like you and I. I apologize if this is a dumb question, but if it does go to, say, 10,000, who is going to be buying at that price for anyone to sell to and why? Thanks in advance. Ethan, great question. It's not a dumb question. You and I will not be buying shares at $10,000 per share, right? The hedge funds, when they're required to buy those positions back, they're required to buy them back regardless of the price. So they have to pay that price, no matter what it is, right? If it goes to $10,000 per share and they have not covered the amount of shorts that they have out there, then absolutely, it goes as high as people are willing to go until the hedge funds are able to cover all of their positions. How does Wanda's seller help AMC? Ronaldo, AMC doesn't care if Wanda sells their shares off. AMC doesn't really care at all what the share price is of their stock unless they're issuing additional equity. Now, the only additional equity they have to issue right now are those, I believe it's like 20 million shares that they can issue to the executive team at AMC. The 43 million were already issued. They will no longer be able to raise money through share prices. So honestly, at this point, the only people that are going to care at AMC what the share price is are the people who are going to receive bonuses. Like when the CEO gets his bonus next year, when the executive team gets their bonus, they're the only ones that are going to care what AMC's price is. They don't care now if it goes to $100 million a share or a penny a share. What's up, y'all? What's up, Freddie? Highly doubt AMC CEO really cares about retail investors. He's just like the top one. Yeah, Mean Joe. He cares to an extent because he knows that he can reach us at this point. He sits very well in a lot of retail investors' eyes, and that bodes well for the company that he's able to get his investors on board with the decisions that he wants to make. And does he care about retail investors during a short squeeze? No, he doesn't care about a short squeeze. He cares about the overall health and wellness of AMC, which is what you would expect out of a CEO. SEC is applying outside pressure. All these new regulations seem pointed directly at this situation. Sean, I believe that's correct. I believe that they're trying to tighten the margin calls a little bit to kind of prohibit catastrophic losses that could be coming from this. Guy has a few million shares. He cares. No, he doesn't care about the squeeze. Please don't tell people to expect too much of the AMC meeting. That may create expectations that can be bad for everybody if not fulfilled. Oh, Alex, I'm not. Honestly, I have no expectations for the AMC meeting. Question: why would bad volume today to the hedge funds not punish this price to $9? Phil, bad volume. A lot of people correlate volume with price. High volume means high price. Low volume means low price. That's not necessarily the case. Volume should be more correlated with momentum and magnitude of price action. Volatility, you could say. High volume doesn't always mean that the price goes higher. High volume means that the price could move quicker. It could move more in a single direction, but there could be extremely high volume on extremely down days. There could also be extremely high volume on extremely high days. Volume adds to the intensity. It just means that more people are moving their shares back and forth. We are going to squeeze until volume goes up. I would disagree with that on a couple aspects, but high volume could send the price higher faster. We do not need volume to go up in order for the short squeeze to trigger. CEO hates shorts attacking their company. It just looks bad. The CEO, a lot of his executive compensation comes from the share price. So, of course, if the share price goes down, he loses a lot of compensation. So, bunking with Phil, that okay with you, Phil? Somebody's bunking with, I missed Phil. So, yeah, Rocket, you and Phil, you guys bunking together. You should make a video about this volume when the squeeze happens, Clay, please. Yeah, Christian, I have a couple of videos on volume. I think that would be another one to post again. Maybe do an updated version. Absolutely. A large amount of my net worth is from AMC stock. I care about the share price. Adam Aaron. Exactly. Here's the deal, though. Adam Aaron does not care about the share price getting detached from fundamentals. He is 100% correct that a lot of his wealth is due to AMC. What he needs to do is make sure that AMC remains as a company, that the share price is reflected by the fundamentals of the company are reflected in the share price. He knows right now that AMC is trading at an inflated price based on fundamentals. That's why AMC was so willing to go out and sell those 43 million shares. But if he makes sure that AMC grows as a company, that it doesn't go bankrupt, that it stays around for the long run, like he says, another 100 years, absolutely, his wealth will grow as well. But he's not one to really worry about a short squeeze because, guys, he's not going to go out there and sell all of his shares during a short squeeze. No margin call equals no squeeze. Carter, no margin call doesn't necessarily mean no squeeze. No margin, because the hedge funds could go out and cover their positions on their own, right? It is possible that they could go out and just say we've had enough and that they're done with it. A margin call is going to be very beneficial for the squeeze happening sooner rather than later, and not at the, I don't know, what word do you want to use? Not at the direction of the hedge funds. Alex Medina Clay put out a video about it already just yesterday. Okay, I missed it. Thank you very much, Rocket, for checking that out and letting these people know. Guys, if I missed one and somebody else hits you up in the chat, absolutely. I thank you guys so much because it's very difficult to reach everybody's chat. Which book should I be looking at if I want to learn about trading and investing, in your opinion? Next, in my opinion, honestly, books are kind of boring, man. There's a lot of stuff on the internet right now. A very good place to start if you're new to just terms and you need like a glossary, Investopedia, man, is a very good place to read some articles and really understand definitions at a fundamental level, and that could help a lot. From there on, I prefer videos and stuff much over books, but that's just me. Some other people might have a completely different opinion on that, and I find it more interesting to understand a concept and then get opinions of different people too, because nobody's game on 100%. They know what they're doing and can tell you perfect. And gather opinions and then make your decision based on those opinions. Alex Medina, thank you very much for the super chat. Let's see what Alex has to say. You read it wrong. You read it wrong is to ask people to not have expectations for the meeting because the meeting will not affect anything and create frustration. Okay, Alex, thank you very much for clearing that up. That is correct, man. I believe, guys, some of the stuff that we're going to see at the meeting, we're going to see how many shares outstanding there are, how many shareholders on record there are. We know that's roughly 493 million. One of the biggest numbers that we can see is how many individual accounts are holding AMC stock right now. And at the end of the day, that's not going to be a huge catalyst for the short squeeze. It's not going to be a huge catalyst because it's not going to indicate that there could be billions of synthetics out there. Alex, we should have no expectations other than it will happen. The shareholder meeting, well, hey, if you want to expect that the shareholder meeting will happen, shouldn't we have expected that last month when they were supposed to have the shareholder meeting, or the beginning of this month, and then they pushed it back? So have zero expectations for the shareholder meeting. Did you talk about Wanda selling? Tyler, yes, we talked a little bit about Wanda selling. We just talked about, the fact that they sold off. I believe that's why we had a lot of selling pressure in that $14 to $15 range, but that's okay. We knew that, my bad, Alex, you're good, man. We kind of expected that they were going to sell there because they sold there last time, and hopefully we knew institutions are going to be the weakest link, so hopefully those shares went to retail investors wanting to see a squeeze, and not institutional investors that are, wanting to hold out for 10, 20% profits or anything like that. If they announce they are to create new shares, is it huge news? When will? That is an excellent question. What's up, Clay Bro? What's up, Nasty? I want to address that, guys. If they announce that they intend to issue new shares, how will this be, and what does it mean? So we know that they took that 500 million potential authorized, or they were asking to be able to authorize 500 million new shares. If they add that, Sean, I'll get to you in a second. If they add that to the ballot again, what will that do? And I completely disagree with the speculation that Adam Aaron strung that out in front of hedge funds to get them to short the stock more and then pulled it out from the table. I believe that he saw that he was going to lose that vote and he could potentially bring it back up for vote again. So if we see 500 million or any new shares for that matter, if they ask to authorize these new shares, it will give the hedge funds hope. The institutional investors will get a hold of these shares. It will give the hedge funds hope that the dilution will lessen the short squeeze, and they will be able to play this game so much longer. Sean Harrigan, thank you for the super chat. Let's see what Sean's got to say, guys. We are betting on technical specific situation. Yes. Adam Aaron has to pay attention to the fundamental valuation. 100%. Just made naked shares highly illegal. Can't really see that flag too well. Not sure if it was Japan or what. Guys, naked shorting, naked shares, those are illegal. 100% illegal. I believe it was following 2008 that they were made illegal, yes, but it creates, potentially an unlimited downward pressure on stocks, and they cannot allow these naked shorts to exist for more than 2 days. They must be covered within 2 days of being created, and a lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people might think that they're not being covered in a timely manner. It's possible, but all of these naked shorts out there are regulated. They're kept track of by your brokers, by the SEC. They're reported to the NSCC. Everything is kept track of, and they are legally not allowed to exist more than 2 days, except under extreme circumstances. Broseph, how long have you been investing? I've been investing for quite some time. Okay, blackjack dealer knows something right, but why? CEO has 500 million not involved. Sorry if I missed that one. Not exactly sure what that question meant. SK Citadel only has 700,000 shares. They'll be gobbled up faster compared to one. Correct, Karthik. They got, I don't know, I think it was like 750,000 shares. I'm not worried about the shares that Citadel has. They're heavily over leveraged to the downside. And even if they've got shares and they've got calls and they make money on the way up, they're losing a lot more money on the way up than they're making. You expect hedge funds to do that. AMC to the moon. Let's go, Nefster. So why assume they are doing things by the rules? It's obvious they don't. Because if they weren't doing things by the rules, they would already be in jail. They would already be facing, criminal prosecution, civil prosecution, and all of that stuff. Guys, these hedge funds, yes, they're billionaires. They try to skirt the rules, but they also don't want to go to jail, okay? And with such scrutiny and so many eyes on AMC, GameStop, the whole world right now, the SEC, as much as people would like to believe that they're in on it, that they're corrupt, they're being watched right now. And just the fact that they're being watched is, guys, if you're being watched, you're less likely to do something illegal. Yes, people still do it. We know that there are surveillance cameras all over the place and people still get caught doing illegal things, but you're less likely if you know somebody's watching. And also, if you start to go down, if I start to talk about what could be happening and what the potential for is during all of the illegal things, you get caught up. And you got to keep it real on it makes you able to invest better and understand better if you stay grounded. So what the board wants happens. Yes. When is the count? We will know how many shares are being released during the shareholder meeting, which is currently scheduled for the July 29th. The schedule pending, correct? So the plan is to make bank on this and bet it all on the Browns to win the Super Bowl. Yes, that is the bet. Good luck, and if that happens, that will be very good. New investors, start with small trades, 4-month or 2 with swing trades. Once you get swing trades down, basic technicals, try scalping. Not financial advice. We're truly trying to make internet friends, which isn't smart. Rocket. Cool. Sounds like a good plan to me. All you need is patience. Guys, that is the key to the game. If you can outlast them, we win. It's that simple. If they can outlast us, they win. Ain't no stopping us now. Chickadee. This can't go on for 6 more months, can it? Matthew, if the price doesn't go up and they want to play this game for 6 more months, it can last 6 more months, man. Just as long as the price doesn't get triggered higher. If we've got an inflow of buyers, like if you tell your brother to subscribe to Clay Bros YouTube channel and your brother's like, all right, well, that makes sense. I can add a share to my portfolio, or I can download Webull using the link in the description below. Sign up for an account, deposit $100, get some free stocks, sell those free stocks, and buy a share of AMC. He doesn't even have any money out of pocket, right? Well, he can go out and add a share. If more people jump on board, we will see demand increase. That'll raise the stock price. So yes, if everybody folds, if you and I get tired, if we walk away and then your friend walks away, maybe somebody else jumps in on it, then yeah, it's something that can last a long time. There are hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars at stake here. They're not just going to give up on us. And that's why we can't give up on them. I want to see these billions of dollars. At least I can kick my kids out in 3 years. Well, if that's what you're looking forward to, Phil, that's what you're looking forward to, man. Is it a good idea to ease off this right now because it's going to be a roller coaster ride for a few weeks, months, and I don't want to get burned, which is what the hedgies want. SK, hey, man, if you're going to get burnt out, like checking it every day or worrying about it, yeah, don't get burnt out, dude. It's a waiting game. You might see the price go back down to $8, back up to $14, but when they cover their shares, that's when it squeezes, okay? When they cover their shares and they cover them quick, that's when it squeezes even higher. So, yeah, man, if you got to take a wait-and-see approach to it just to get your, I don't know, mental health is a weird word, But if you got to get yourself in check and not stress out about it, do what you got to do, man. But hey, don't forget to join the live streams too, because we keep it pretty chill here, guys. I want to know. I want to know by the regulars who are in here a lot. We keep it pretty chill in here, right? Say yes or no. I think that we keep it pretty chill, and this is a place that a lot of people can take a lot of doubts away and really get on board with whether or not they want to invest. Yeah, see, guys, we keep it pretty chill in here, and I don't think that you're going to get too stressed out either on red days or green days. And, you know, if you want to hang out in here and all of that, I think it's a decent place to stay informed, because here's the deal, man. If you get so chill that you're afraid to look at AMC, you might miss it, man. You don't want that to happen. You got to stay involved, at least in tune a little bit, but it's something that we have to pay attention, but don't get burnt out, please. Rocket with a super chat. Let's see what Rocket has to say, guys. You see Matt's theory on this last time we tested 1450. He thinks that was Wanda sell-off, so it may be a go if we test again and Wanda is done. Rocket, I did not see. I thank you for elaborating on his theory about that. I did not see that, whether it was in a live stream today or one of the videos he did. I would agree with that. The last time we knew that Wanda, we tested this $14 range. What was it? Looks like it was back in March. We tested this $14 range, and absolutely, we fell back off of it. Then it was revealed that Wanda had a lot of sells out there at the $14, and they made some good money, got out of the stock. Exactly. Ooh, that's what you expect institutional investors to do. They did right by themselves. That's great. It fell back down. They did the exact same thing this time. They fell back down. Now, here, do I think it's going to shoot up next time we test it? It's got a better chance, right? But now what do we have to worry about? And don't worry. If you're a guy that likes to stress out, don't worry too much. BlackRock and Vanguard have these shares at $9 per share, right? They've got 43 million shares at $9 per share. If they're going to go out and hit the $14 range again, and they can make 50% plus on their investment, on their 43 million shares times $10 a share, that's $450 million. If they can go out and make a quick $250 million, what do you think they're going to do? Think about that for a minute. Institutions, guys, they're going to be the first ones to go. They're going to go out and say, yeah, we just made a very easy $250 million. We're going to take it. So we may have a few more strides in front of us. We may have a few more hurdles to get over. But once retail investors really do own this stock, I believe it's going to be a very beautiful thing. All right. See, I'm out. Can't get any answers here. Jason. Don't leave just yet, man. If you asked a question, I'm very sorry. I did not see it. Tom, Citadel was acting up, apparently. How do we all get to sell if there are only 87 million? Take it when they cover. Alex, very good question. Here's the deal, man. We're not all going to get to sell, right? We're not all going to get to sell. But we don't all have to sell our shares to the hedge funds. You are correct, man. The hedge funds are going to cover 87 million shares, maybe more if the next short interest comes out and we see that there's more shares shorted. Maybe a little less if they cover some of them. But look, the hedge funds are going to buy up those 87 million shares. The price will absolutely rocket. Now, it doesn't mean that only 87 million shares are going to get sold. And yes, this might sound bad, okay, but just pay attention. FOMO buyers are going, did I say rocket? I probably did say rocket. FOMO buyers are going to be jumping on AMC like crazy, okay? They're going to be jumping on thinking that they missed the train and now they need to jump on. We might see the price jump to $100 and then FOMO buyers jump in and rocket us to $1,000 per share. We don't know who we're selling our shares to, but just because you think that 87 million shares are going to be the only shares traded during the squeeze, that's not going to be the case. Guys, in an ideal world, the squeeze happens slow. Nobody's tempted. We know that volume is low. But there's going to be a lot of shares being traded. There's day traders are going to be trying to take advantage of it. The really risky guys out there that say, "Oh, AMC shot up to 1,000, AMC shot up to 100. I'm going to try and get in now and sell it at 1,000." They're going to be buying and selling shares. There will be crazy volume, much more than the float. Okay, there's going to be volume much higher than $450 million or 450 million shares, 490 million shares during this short squeeze. So you will have an opportunity to sell. Whether you're selling to another retail investor who's trying not to miss out and made the mistake of getting in late, or you're selling it directly to the hedge funds, there will be excessive volume during the short squeeze, and you will be able to unload your shares. Just don't hold your shares all the way back down to $10. Can we all complain to the SEC? Yeah, I would assume that everybody can complain to the SEC. Bigger than Volkswagen? Dustin, I believe that we have much more potential than Volkswagen. Remember, guys, Volkswagen hit €1,000 per share, right? But it was already trading at €400 per share pre-squeeze, dropped down to 200, and then jumped up 5x. So Volkswagen wasn't that great. So we all unanimously agree that retail is buying up all these institutional shares right now. I'm hopeful that that's the case. We can't know where they're going. We can't know for sure. Why isn't the movie industry, especially Universal, speaking out about this stuff? Doesn't affect them too, or they only care about streaming now? Chester, it doesn't really affect them. I mean, these companies don't really care too much about the share price unless they're going to, unless they're looking to raise additional equity, or their compensation packages are based on share price and stuff like that. That's where they get involved, and that's where they care about the share price. Who else can be buying them? Oh, institutions, companies can be buying them up. BlackRock can be adding more to their shares. Vanguard can be adding more to their shares. Brokers can be buying them up, stuff like that. And, that's what you got to look at. How low do the hedge funds have to drive the price down not to lose money? That's a great question, Scott. Nobody knows exactly what their average is or what their lowest share price is that they have on the shorts. But clearly they would be losing no money if they drove the share price down all the way to $1.91 at that low that we saw. Well, they have long positions as well, so they would be losing on those. But if they didn't want to be losing on their shorts, you can assume that if they drove it down to a brand new low, they would not be losing any money at all on their short positions. True. What metals should I be investing in? Whatever metals you want to invest in. Outside of being margin called, what forces short sellers to buy their shares back? Excessive losses. So if they admit loss and they say that we can no longer take on the risk of these positions themselves, this is our stop loss, our line in the sand. If the price goes up to a certain point, volume might go down, might create a risky situation for them. They would willingly go out and cover their shares. Is the squeeze the only way out of this for the hedge funds? Daryl, good question. The hedge funds can cover these positions at any time they want if they're willing to do so. If they're willing to admit that they made a bad investment, then they could get out of this without even squeezing the price up. But do you really think that these billionaires, these hedge fund managers are going to admit that? It's like, I'll get on board, write the SEC and complain. Guys, the SEC, I don't know how bad of a job the SEC is doing. I think that they are trying to do their job. Hedges fundamentals are off now, so don't believe any FUD with articles bashing retail investors saying we are the wrong ones. We openly admit that we aren't in it for technicals. Hey, yes, we are in it. Well, we are in it for the technicals. We want the speculative trade. We aren't in it for the fundamentals for sure. But that's correct, Rocket. That is correct. But big hedges have big egos. SK, dude, when your daily driver is a 2022 Ferrari that hasn't even come out yet, and you wouldn't get in anything lesser than a Rolls Royce. Yeah, man, you're not going to admit that some kids that call themselves monkeys did better than you. I think their pride will get in the way. Daryl, pride is very destructive, man. I don't want any of us to get proud and think that this thing is just over, that it's guaranteed for us, and that we don't need to wait this out. So it's a very destructive force when you start to get proud. And I believe so. M. James, do I follow you back on Twitter? You can DM me on Twitter, but I have to follow you, I think. I have to follow you, I think. And I don't know. Because I know you guys got different names on YouTube than you do have on Twitter, so I'm not exactly sure who I follow on there. Hey, Millie, I agree with that. Pride can get in the way of a lot of things. If we get proud thinking that this thing's over, it's guaranteed, we'll lose a step. And then they'll be able to push the price down. If they get proud, which I believe they already are, they allow things like this to happen. So it's very, very interesting. Follow me back then. I will have to follow you back. I don't know your name on Twitter. Making new rules. The bank's doing stress tests. The hedge funds doing fire sales. Read the signs. Game over. We won. Walter, seems like it's getting pretty close. Absolutely. Seems like it's getting pretty close to the end, and I'm hoping that it's a good thing for us. If the squeeze takes a long time, could they cover slowly to prevent the squeeze? Fifi, yes, they could absolutely do that. But that rolls into what we're talking about right now. M. James. Okay, I'll check it out, M. James. That's what we're talking about right now. They could cover slowly, but they have to admit that the positions they have on AMC are losing positions, and they don't want to take on this risk. If they cover without a squeeze, the price. No, if they cover without a squeeze, if they cover slowly like that, the price isn't going to change. It's just going to. I mean, and when I say slowly, guys, they're going to have to slowly cover over a week's time, right? We're going to know by the time the next short report comes out how many short shares and what the short interest is on the stock and that they're covering and stuff like that. So it's not something that I would be too worried about, but it wouldn't drive the price down. It could create a little bit of demand and drive the price up a little bit, but what drives the price down at this point is if you and I fold. If we say that we're no longer in this for the squeeze, we can't take this risk anymore, if we go out and sell our shares and say that we can't handle AMC, that drives the price down. Tom's in troll. I didn't see Tom's comments. Time's on there. Hey, time's on our side too, man. What are you worried about waiting a little while for? Why are people saying I need a cash account? Lance, they're probably saying that you need a cash account because they're worried about you loaning your shares out to the hedge funds. But if you disallow them to be loaned out, then it's not something you have to worry about. Encourage your family, friends. Hey, Craig, yeah, if somebody is new to AMC, they don't know about it, they want to check out the live stream, ask some questions, this is a pretty good place for them to get acquainted with it and what's going on and maybe take away some of their doubts. Are we manipulating? Daniel, 365 people is not enough to cause manipulation. But yes, if a group of people band together, set a price wall, and make the price go there, that is exactly the same type of manipulation that hedge funds do, but we're not big enough to do that. How long do you think it will let it go for attack 10x, then put out FUD to convince paper hands it's over? Diamond, I think they're already trying, man. I think they're trying to do that, so I don't know. Can your broker loan out your shares? Not if you tell them that they're not allowed to do that, David Johnson. Sup, Clay? How close do you think we are to the squeeze? Jerry Bernstein, I hope we're close, right? But I still think we're not there yet. We need to break through these higher price levels. We need to break through resistance. I think it's good signs that we're seeing with Wanda losing their shares and more retail investors potentially having more shares and owning these stocks. Think of AMC as a piggy bank. Every time I put a share in, I'm adding the emergent fund. Hey, there you go, Sinister. Good way to look at it. Very good way to look at it. The more you add, the more it can grow over time, and the bigger that it can absolutely be when this thing squeezes. No one is attacking AMC. It doesn't earn money, so it's dropping naturally. No, Tom. They were shorting it very heavily, so that was driving the price down. Yes, it was losing a lot of money during the pandemic, and that's the reason they tried to exacerbate the price drop. But do you really think that Citadel will go down? They're the biggest market maker. Odid Menkes, not sure how to say the name. Look, man, they're not going to go easily, okay? They're definitely not going to go easily. But if they allow their arrogance, if they allow their pride to not close out these positions, they're going to have to liquidate a lot of other positions to really keep this thing going with AMC as long as we stay in the fight and as long as we continue to hold these shares. It's not guaranteed for them, man. I really think they've put themselves in a bad position, but we can't get tired. How long did it take to 100 share based on today's closing? How long could it take to get to 100 a share based on today's closing? BVOX, honestly, it could take 4 minutes to get to $100 a share if they go out and close. If they go out and get margin called, it take 4 minutes. I mean, obviously it could take less, but I just put out a really low number. There's no time limit on how long it could take to get there once the squeeze happens. AMC will lose over $3 per share this year. That's why it's dropping. Tom, I really don't think that's the case, man. It could. Sure. AMC could lose over $3 a share. AMC's trading at $12 a share right now. Could end the year at $9 a share. But guess what? It could squeeze up to $9,000 a share during the course of the year, drop all the way back down to $9 per share, and you might be right, man. We know that AMC's trading detached from fundamentals right now, so it's all right. Does Robinhood allow share to be borrowed? I don't have a Robinhood account, but if you have a margin account, yes, they would 99% likely allow your share to be loaned out. There we go. Yes, we've got a lot of very big blockbusters coming to theaters this summer. It's going to be very good. The only way it will go nuts is if buyer pressure will continue hard while they are closing their positions. They can cover slowly without. Yes. But that's not necessarily true. If they're margin called, they will not be able to cover slowly. So there's a big difference there on them covering slowly just because they're admitting defeat and them getting margin called. Remember, guys, these hedge funds are going to lose billions. I wouldn't give up $100 without a fight. So they've declared war. Yes, Daryl. Billions, potentially hundreds of billions. And if they really just mess themselves up, trillions. Citadel is in charge of $407 billion right now, guys. And they stand to lose it all if they don't cover these short shares. If the game plays out the way that we want it to play, they do stand to lose all of that. And that's not to say that they will. They will most likely cover before they lose all of that. But it just depends on what happens and how this thing plays out. Dre's a good guy, guys. AMC peaked with Avengers Endgame came out, the biggest box office movie of all time. Hey, Tony. And when demand starts to rise again for the movie theaters, absolutely, we could see very good price spikes, but that's not necessarily why. We would like those price spikes to help drive the squeeze further, but don't think that you're investing in AMC to see increased fundamentals and to see revenue rise. You want to see the squeeze happen. You want to see the hedge funds cover their positions. So, Clibro, holla at all my oilfield brothers hoping this thing moons. Austin, what's going on? All of Austin's friends out there, yes, we are all hoping this thing moons and moons quickly. Hey, get bigger too. I'm part of those movements, so there's no chance of a squeeze. Anything I touch loses value. Joe, well then you're in with the right crowd, man, because we are optimistic and we know that this thing can squeeze. So you're in the right crowd. We'll take that bad luck away from you. I used to be a flyer for a hedge fund, and they said the poor apes could not hold long enough for this squeeze. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are thinking right now, that these poor apes won't be able to hold on. But guys, I mean, how easy is it to just wait? How was your day? Millie, my day was excellent. How was your day? Got to help the sister out at school today. She's a teacher. We had a very good STEM day. Volunteered with that. And it was a beautiful day here. Don't hold. Sell me your shares. Hey, Blackjack, guys, if you want to sell your shares to Blackjack, he's more than willing to buy them. Excellent. Sorry for spamming the chat. Very sorry. I did not even see that you were spamming the chat. Good, bad, long AMC 2022 calls. 2022, all of those calls are going to be good if we squeeze before the expiration date. Every single one of those calls will be good if we squeeze before expiration date. Just had to deal with Comcast fiber tech support. Way easier to hold AMC than deal with them. Alex, I would most likely agree with that. I know this is about AMC and I'm holding, but I wanted to know your thoughts on ABXT. Could look into that. APXT, name that company. I'm pretty sure I've done a video on them a while back. Is that the Oh man, artificial intelligence security systems. What's the expiration date? Well, I was talking about the expiration date on his options being in 2022. Claybro, explain how the hedgies could realistically win. I only hear scenarios where we have a short squeeze or flip side apes don't hold. Is it really that simple? Puppies in space, yes. Scenarios where the hedge funds realistically win. So if you want the hedge funds to win, guys, there's a lot of money on the line. The hedge funds are not just going to roll over and lose hundreds of billions of dollars, okay? They can draw this game out. If we don't see some price action to the upside, if we don't see margin calls or anything like that, they're going to draw this price out. And then what's that look like? Do you remember the puppies? Do you remember the video I did on that spring? If we sit here and we just keep this spring right here forever, same amount of selling pressure, same amount of buying pressure, the spring doesn't move in either direction, right? It just stays there. And if that's the case, we don't pop the squeeze up to the top, and they can't necessarily drop the price down, right? If we get tired and we fold, boom, price drops down, they make money on all their shorts. If they finally admit that they're losing money and that AMC was a bad investment for themselves, boom, it pops up. Same deal for the margin call, boom, pops up. Now, how could they realistically win? If they are willing to admit and slowly buy back all of the shares that they have shorted right now, they could realistically get out of this hole that they've dug themselves into, but they have to admit that we beat them at that point. We have to squeeze before next year, or else the government misses out on a lot of capital gains, because next year, January, 1 year. Hey, that's true, David. That is very true. I didn't even think about that part. That's very true. Do we make the spring pop up by buying more and more shares? Mishi, yes. So if we hold our shares, the spring just stays stable, right? They can put some pressure on us, but if we keep this stable, don't sell the shares back to them, we hold the line, right? But if more people get involved, if more people are willing, prices at $12.08 or so right now, $12 per share. If more people say, well, I'm willing to pay $13 a share, I'm willing to pay $14 a share, I'm willing to pay $15 a share. If more people jump in on the movement, or if we can add more shares, or whatever it is, if the buying pressure moves up, then we pop that spring off to the top. How will the share count affect share price? I don't think that it will. HCMC, I would not recommend buying HCMC. Do you feel there is cheating going on that could keep us from takeoff? I highly doubt it, guys. I highly doubt it. I know a lot of people like to lean on corruption and manipulation because it's easy to use as an excuse. It's hard to admit that people are trading and selling AMC, but it's out there, guys. We're not the only people buying and selling AMC. There's a lot of day traders, a lot of swing traders. It's evident that with 50 million shares being traded, 50 million shares are being traded. Clay, I think that's what the crypto BS is about. Can they make enough to cover? Blue, could possibly be that. Could absolutely be that. I don't know how much money hedge funds have tied up in crypto, but that's something they could be using to create liquidity in order to cover the losses that they're having in AMC. Clyde, thank you very much for the super chat. Clyde says, thanks for the videos every single day. You guys know by now that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you should, because join us, become a bro, because we are here every single day and we are growing our portfolios together. So Clyde, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that super chat. And I will always continue to make a video every single day. Hopefully we learn something about AMC, about investing, about the stock market, about finance. Because I want every single person, all 360 of us, 361 if you include me, now 357, I guess those other three guys don't want financial freedom. I want all of us to have the very best financial future that we could possibly have. Their shares aren't fake. Yeah, I don't think the shares that we hold are fake. That is correct, Debbie. What are you investing your profits in after the squeeze? SK, I would expect that we're going to have a lot of money that we can invest in some very safe assets, diversify our portfolios with ETFs, maybe just mess around with the S&P 500 and buy some bigger companies that pay nice dividends. And then, look, you want to have some fun too, right? So you want to have a portfolio that maybe you can go out there and swing trade and buy some riskier stuff and stuff like that. But that's a great question. I think that we can afford to be conservative, and yes, Tesla would be a very good investment, or a very good car if you're looking to get a car. Kia Forte would be an even better car if you want to buy a new car afterwards. But yeah, I think that you can afford to be conservative following that. What is the worst case scenario in your opinion? Worst case scenario, hedge funds admit defeat. They slowly buy back all of their shares, and the share price never goes much higher than the fundamental value of AMC long term, which would most likely be in the $30 range again. Bonfire, guys, if Bonfire's in reference to a video that Lou did, I did not see it. Yes, just stop and hold until the squeeze. It's that simple. Debbie's got it on lock. Joe, why can't we hit 10K? It goes as high as people hold. Come on, man. Yeah, it'll be difficult to hit 10K, but it absolutely can. Bonfire is a crypto? I have not seen Bonfire then. My goodness. They come out with a new crypto every single day, don't they? Should we hold till we get to 100K? Guys, it can go to 100K. I would say wherever you're comfortable with. If you sell it 1,000 and it goes to 100,000, are you going to be upset with yourself? If that's the case, then it's another thing you got to worry about. Bonfire is a crypto pushed heavily by the bots on YouTube. I've never even heard of Bonfire. Is it good? Like, should I look at Bonfire? How many shares do you own? Odid, Menkis. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Look, man, I don't want to influence anybody to think that they need more shares or that they have too many shares or whatever the case may be. So my average right now is in the $9.80 range. I believe it's $9. I don't know exactly what it is. It's lower 980s. And I just don't want to talk about share numbers because if you've got one share out there, you're a part of the movement, right? You say my name right. Odid, hopefully, and thank you. Yeah, I don't want anybody to be influenced to either buy or think that they're overexposed or anything like that. So if you guys want to share how many shares you got, absolutely. I don't have a problem with that. If you don't feel comfortable sharing how many shares you got, not a problem either, guys. If you've got 0 shares, this is still the place to be. Get comfortable with AMC before you make a decision to buy AMC. If you've got 0 shares out there, ask your questions and then decide for yourself if it's something that you want to invest in. I appreciate you answering our questions. You are a huge help. Big thank you, Clay. Eric, that's the deal, man. That's what we go for with these live streams. It's kind of like a live stream session where we can all hang out together, ask questions, answer questions. You can look at charts all day yourself too if you want, but it's great. It makes for better conversation, clearly, but it makes for easier explanations than trying to go through and answer people's questions and comments and all of that stuff. And, really helps, I don't want to say build relationships, but it really helps build the community up too. I have $0 shares. David, you got in at a very nice price, my friend. Options, you in or not? I don't have any options, Wilma. I don't have a problem with options if you understand how to use options. If you want to support the squeeze, options are not going to trigger a squeeze like buying shares would. So it's your strategy, but I do not have any options. I'm retired and I own 130 shares, squeezing dollars from my retirement money. Nice, Debbie. Thank you for asking 0 shares. 0 shares. Hey, no, guys, if you have no shares, that's not a problem at all. Man, I got shares. Yes, guys, there's a lot of people in here holding pretty heavy, and they're going to be pretty excited. They're going to be pretty excited during the squeeze. There's no doubt. Tom is the most active in his coworker group text. Clay Bro has gave me safe, sound advice, and I really appreciate that. I am sure my fellow apes are. Daryl, that's the thing, man. Clearly don't construe it as financial advice. Look, guys, life advice too, man. And don't take, if I've got an opinion on something and somebody else, Trey or Lou or Matt or any of these other guys out there that are out there talking about AMC, if they've got a different opinion on it, use that. Say, oh, okay, well, Clay thought this, Trey thought this, and it both makes sense. And develop your own opinion, right? Move forward confident, knowing that you know what's best for you. I lost 000 on options, thinking this squeeze was going to happen sooner. If you do options, please give yourself enough time. David, that is an excellent idea, man. That is excellent advice too. We all know the squeeze can happen at any minute, but we don't know how long it's going to take either. So if you're basing options on the squeeze and you want to get really far out of the money price on an option, on a call option, at least pay a little bit more for the time if that's the route that you want to go. But also, if you don't understand options fully, either ask your questions in here, look up some stuff on options, but please understand options before you go out and actually purchase an option. Your name is Really Clay? That's a cool name. Yes, my name is Really Clay. Scalp options to buy more shares. Hey, Wilma, excellent strategy, right? No, I don't have a problem with that. Why aren't bigger YouTubers talking about AMC squeeze? That's a good question. They've already got their crowds, right? They don't need to. AMC is an excellent, I don't want to say entry point for newer YouTubers or smaller YouTubers, but look, it's very focused. Guys like Meet Kevin, man, they can go out and pretty much talk about anything they want, and a lot of people are going to tune in just because they know Meet Kevin and they got a lot going on. AMC there's a huge demand for content, a huge demand for people to learn, and it's very focused. So it's a good idea for, I don't want to say, smaller YouTubers, but it's a good idea because it's a very focused crowd, a very dedicated crowd. I mean, you guys are absolutely amazing to see the amount of focus that you guys have. I really like it. I really like how dedicated you guys are to learning more every single day and really getting to the bottom of what's going on. Any tips how to manage the squeeze when I work during open hours? Daniel, maybe set an alert on your phone for a jump in price. If you can't keep checking your phone, set an alert with your broker to trigger a text or whatever during, I don't know, if AMC doubles in price or triples in price. You can set an alert for that. That'd be a pretty good indicator on what's going on. Have your plan in place before the squeeze happens so that you don't have to be panicking and worried about working during the market and being able to enact your thing. Dude, you can go to the bathroom for 5 minutes and walk back out and you just made $3 million. So I think that if you've got your plan in place before, you can easily do this during regular hours, even if you're at work. Even if you're in a meeting, man. You get your text on your phone, you go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, and you came back out with $1 million in your account. This is a small group. We're the early adopters of this 349 people or whatever. I don't know. I think everybody else just doesn't like me. If it squeezes while you're at work, I'll be like, I quit. Martin, make sure you take your profit before you say you quit. Okay? Sean Harrigan, thank you for the super chat. My option expired, out of the money. I'll never do it again. It's still in my positions. It says close. It was a sell open. Do I need to do anything if it's worthless? Sean, I do not believe that you need to do anything if it expired worthless. I don't think you need to do anything at all to close that out if it expired worthless, man. Just what it is. Million, but why do you need to stay glued to your phones watching for the first squeeze if we are all holding? Well, we're all holding, yes, but clearly if people are generating volume out there, not everybody's holding. Steven, yes, we did. We talked about Wanda selling those 30 million shares. The great selling pressure. We still need to be worried about the BlackRock and Vanguard, though. Don't worry that AMC sold 43 million shares to BlackRock and Vanguard. And think about it, they got those shares at $9 a share. What are they going to do when they hit $14 a share and they just made a 50% profit? $250 million they just made. Potentially SK, and I guess it would depend on what price they were able to sell them at. Yeah, potentially SK. I don't know exactly how much they would actually lose during that. Everybody has me worried about keeping my Robinhood account. How do you feel? Eric, If you don't trust your broker, man, I say it's time to get out. If you trust Robinhood, I got no problem with using Robinhood. If you want to use the link in the description below for Webull, absolutely, that helps everybody out. But dude, I feel like Robinhood would be pretty shady if they were playing some games again, and they got a lot of people watching them. But at the same time, if you can't rest because you're worried about your broker, it's time to change. So worst case scenario with Robinhood, they don't let you sell your shares, and then you write them back down to $10 a share. Clay, bro, what's in the water bottle? Pass it around, bro. Hook it up. Tom, it is water in the water bottle. 100%. It's water. It will always be water in that water bottle. Big Hay from Ireland. Big Hay from Ohio. I've recently joined the Apes, Juniper Ape. I love the spirit you guys are doing. I don't have many shares, but it's all I can afford. Hope it helps. Absolutely. And you should know by now that if you've got one share or if you've got 100,000 shares, you are in the right place. Since Adam Aaron can see our vote count to make sure we meet our quorum, wouldn't it make sense to vote as soon as possible to exceed? Chris, as long as you know what's going on, yeah, there's no problem in delaying your vote as long as you know what you're voting on, right? Citadel has ties to Robinhood. Any truth? Yes. I'll take the market maker for Robinhood. Every synthetic share matters. Michael, you are correct. Every real share matters and every synthetic share matters. Hit $100 if BlackRock sells during the squeeze. Frankie, yeah, it could, man. Here's the deal. We just got to make sure. Well, one, I would love to see BlackRock and Vanguard get rid of those 43 million shares before the squeeze happens. But once the hedge funds cover those shares, they're not going to be buying any more shares at high prices. So once they get a hold of 87 million shares, they're not going to be buying shares at high prices. We could see FOMO buyers jump in, absolutely. So it could still go to 100 plus. But the hedge funds are not going to be buying AMC beyond those 87 million shares. Shout out from Texas. What's going on, James? All right, where do we find out the most up-to-date? How many shares are available on the market to buy? What do you mean on the market to buy? On the market to short? There's always shares available to buy. You just got to be willing to pay a high enough price for them, right? We need the most current short shares. Yes, we do need the most. We need to see how many short shares are currently out there. Clay, bro, you need to decorate your wall. People keep saying that. Gets out twice a week. It's a good-looking cat, not a dead cat. Like he said about twice a week. He's a good-looking cat, not a dead cat. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Pringles has a Wednesday spicy chicken sandwich potato wrap. Oh, very good. Very good. BlackRock and Vanguard lend out shares to hedgies. Most likely, Marcus. I mean, they're making some great money on them, right? They were making, what, 80% lending those shares out a couple weeks ago? Now they're making, what, 19% or something? Still good money to lend those shares out. So, yeah, I would say they are. 96,000 miles on the Kia Forte. Eric Kennedy, thank you very much for the super sticker. What do we got here? Good job, Eric. Good job, Eric. Good job, Eric. If you guys don't know by now, send a super chat. I will absolutely answer the question. If you send one of those super stickers, I gotta do whatever that super sticker does. And thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Nancy Grace. Clay, well are you? Yes, Nancy, well are you, Clay? What does next week hold for AMC? Hopefully all good things. Hopefully all good things. Guys, I hope we bounce off this $12 level of support and go higher next week. That's what I would like to see. David, hopefully you're laughing at me, right? How awesome would it be if Wendy's took a position in AMC? I think it would be. It depends. Is Wendy's gonna fold early like Wanda would, or is Wendy's gonna paper hand, or diamond hand and hold this thing to $1,000 a share? That's what I want to know. I bought shares with Schwab. Will I get to vote even if they are phantom shares? Will they get counted? Scott, no, you will not get to vote if you have phantom shares. But trust me, if you bought shares already, you will not have phantom shares in your portfolio by the time the vote comes around. And yes, you will get to vote as long as you hold those shares through June 2nd. And if you don't have shares yet and you would like to vote, please buy those shares before June 2nd and close the day with those shares. I used Phantom Share, Claybro, Playboy. No, Claybro's not a Playboy, guys. Worst case scenario you think is 30. Nick, worst case scenario, I see hedge funds covering all their shares nice and slow, and that we don't squeeze. That's if they were able to admit defeat, they took their losses early, and they don't let their ego get in the way of them anymore, and they slowly unwind their positions. Now, I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think that they're going to say, yeah, these kids are not beating us, and that they're moving on. Do those who want to transfer out of Robinhood have enough time to do so? Yeah, because it only takes about 3 to 5 days to transfer from Robinhood to Webull. So if you want to do that, I don't think that the squeeze is going to be happening in the next 3 to 5 days. We really need to push higher before we see this thing happen, and I don't think that they're going to. Claire, you shy? Nancy, I am shy. Yes, yes. I don't think that they're going to be able to trigger the squeeze and the squeeze end in the next 3 to 5 days. So I wouldn't worry too much about doing that. Oh, great. How are you going to be? Oh, God. Yeah, M. James, possibly. But look, guys, look. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with that. There are 329 people in here, right? I assume that you guys all have decent heads on your shoulders. The hedge funds are not just going to hand us trillions of dollars. They will not just hand us trillions of dollars. They're going to put up their fight. You would not hand them, you wouldn't even hand them a free $5 bill, would you? No, I wouldn't. They're definitely not just going to hand us trillions of dollars. So please, I don't want anybody to expect this thing to be just like a game over easy type of deal. Heads are going to roll, man. Alex, it's going to be, we need to be prepared, and we need to be in this. Just looking out for you, Clay. Thank you. M. James, thank you very much. No, I know, man. I know. I just, people on Reddit, they already don't like me, so that's the thing. 200K the floor. Nefster, man, I would love to reach 100K. I absolutely would. Hey, Tom, that's another worst case scenario. Yes, that's probably a worse case scenario than the one I gave out there. AMC actually goes to these $500,000 share numbers and the world ends. So, it's true, Claybro. The other room is for OnlyFans. Yeah, it's when the blue light comes on over there. That's the one that gets a little risky. Oh, Nancy. I agree. The bigger they fight, the more they show their hand. Yes. Bruiser, they will fight big, and the harder they try to go with this thing, the more they stand to lose. Sean, you are correct, my man. This isn't just some easy game where they hand you billions of dollars. Anybody in your life, you expect anybody in your life to just hand you millions or billions of dollars individually, hundreds of thousands? Like, you expect anybody to come up to you out of nowhere and for no reason hand you millions or billions of dollars for free, like without putting up a fight? Vigilante's like, yes. Without putting up a fight, guys. That's what I'm saying. They're not just going to roll over and die and let this thing die out. It's something that we're going to have to work for, and that we will work for it. Michael, yes, I'm entitled. Well, just... you are entitled as long as you hold those shares till it comes out. Don't fold on your shares, and then you get a chance. Even Henry's talking about it. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people. I do, Nancy. A lot of people, man. Long live they ain't because for the people. Because they ain't for the people. Oh, yeah. They're definitely not for the people, but no response yet. You still calling Citadel, Vigilante? Other works to hold easiest job ever. Yeah. Guys, it is very easy to wait for this thing to happen, though. I just don't want you to get bored in the meantime. What are the actors stepping in? Man, I don't know. We should get some more hype around this thing, shouldn't we? They say he's a paid shill. Yeah, they do say that, David, and I don't know why. Milken every week asking if he wants my shares at 99,000 apiece. I have no doubt that you do that, Vigilante. I have no doubt that you're emailing Ken every week. Yeah, bro, we need to get him in on this. We should. I think we easily should. Easy to wait with 30K invested and no guarantee. Easy. Help. Martin, hey, if you're overextended, you can sell those shares to somebody else. Vigilante will probably buy them up from you. But look, that's the game, dude. That's the game. If we wait them out, we're looking at billions of dollars. Hollywood needs to get involved. I would love it if Hollywood got involved. That'd be really cool. Then a lot more people who have no idea what's going on with AMC would get involved as well. Our job is to hold, easiest job ever besides hedge funder. Yeah. They might have a little bit patience, yes. Been waiting for months, no problem. Waiting longer, patience, absolutely, Douglas, absolutely. Everyone hit me up before you pay him before 100,000. There you go, Vigilante. Vigilante will take the shares off your hands before 100,000. Maybe Trump will give AMC a shout out. Yeah, Trump can give AMC a shout out. Trump, where you at, man? If you wanna hook up, get you on the channel, do an AMC shout out. That'd be cool. Ready for those tendies? Me too. Big Easy. Anyone besides Chance the Rat? I didn't see the whole thing there. Oh, Trump's banned. Yeah, maybe I can't get a hold of him on Twitter then. Click and you. At this point, I don't know if that's a thing that I could do. Nancy, sorry about that. I got 5 of my friends who invested in AMC this week, then it tanked. Martin, but it happens, man. It happens. It didn't tank because they got in. It tanked because we were coming off that sell with all of Wanda's shares there. Eric Kennedy, thank you very much for the super sticker. Bye-bye. Eric, if you're leaving, have a great evening. Enjoy your weekend, Eric. Thank you very much for coming by. Thank you very much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate that. Can we all tweet a celebrity out over there? We need a hashtag. That would be very cool. Make sure to hashtag Claybro when you tweet that out as well. And tag me. David, when he made a video on $1,000 price, we know he wasn't saying to sell at 1,000. It was just a number he was comfortable with. Yeah, David, yeah. Absolutely. Hollywood needs AMC. Hollywood definitely needs AMC. Hollywood should get involved. They make the career off of movie theaters. Yes, they do. How long did it get to 100,000 or 10K? Corey, if it squeezes hard, if it squeezes fast, I mean, you could get to those prices near immediately. But those are going to be difficult prices if people are willing to sell before you get to that level. What triggers do you sell at? What kind of peaks and drops can we expect within... Hey, John, we can expect some extreme peaks and drops, man. Know that the volatility is crazy. If you thought GameStop was an example, you're talking $400 down to $75, back up to $200, like back up to $300, really. You know, you're talking extreme volatility, and if you got some sort of a trailing stop, you're likely to get triggered on it. So you have to pay attention, and you have to have a game plan going into it. Hollywood should get involved. Yes, guys, let's get Hollywood involved. I would love it. That's why I'm holding till 100,000. There you go, Nefster. Coming on strong. Yeah, guys, there's gonna be FUD all over the place, and a lot of people say that I spread FUD too. I don't think that I do, but you're gonna see it all over the place, especially when they're telling you to straight up sell AMC. Should everyone just hold first if the squeeze? Well, hey, Angelo, that doesn't mean that the squeeze is going to happen in over a 4 or 5 day period. The hedge funds are likely going to have enough volume created that they're able to cover those shares very, very quickly. Robert Ortiz, thank you very much for the super chat. Let's see what Robert Ortiz has to say. I can't believe AMC sold their diluted shares to their biggest enemy. Yeah, Robert Ortiz, I can't believe it either, but I kind of expected it. So I appreciate that super chat very much. AMC sold those 43 million shares in a nice big chunk because BlackRock and Vanguard were out there willing to buy, 17 and 30 million shares? 25, whatever it is. They were willing to buy those shares in those big chunks. So it was easy money for them instead of going out and listing on the market and waiting for retail investors to eat them up. It's what they did. I'm just glad they didn't sell them directly to Citadel. Let's get Ron Jeremy involved. Nasty. Pretty good one. Rocket, thank you very much for the super chat. Nancy Grace. Clay, can you do it? TA shirtless. Her words, not mine, Clay. Yes, I did see that. And I said, I don't know if that is going to happen. I appreciate the question very much. I don't know if we can make that happen, Nancy, and also Rocket. Thank you for bringing that back up again. Oh, Family Channel, folks. Yes, you are correct, Blackjack. You are correct. 50 Shades of Clay. Oh. That could be a new channel name, though. Somebody says open an OnlyFans, 50 Shades of Clay. Hey, we might be onto something. After selling 43 million AMC, best not snibble. Yeah. They need to create new shares. When will I tend? I expect to see something in the lines of in the realm of new shares coming out in this vote. I hope it's not the case, but I expect to see something like that. So market will likely be dumped a few days before the squeeze to get funds to cover AMC. Very possible, SK. That is very possible. We're good, Dick Shirtless Clay, y'all. We gotta keep Debbie healthy. We definitely have to keep Debbie healthy. But are you gonna cover the squeeze when it happens? Can you let me know? Lil Bum, if you have not turned on your notifications yet, make sure if you're subscribed to the channel already, turn on those notifications. Yes, I will be live during the squeeze. Now here's the deal. Live during the squeeze, I can't tell you when to sell. I can't really even tell you when I'm selling. But look, we can all, and it's going to be better if we're all here hanging out, pointing things out. We can all point things out on what's going on with volume, what it could mean, if this is the peak, all things like that. I want every single person, if you're not confident in yourself at this moment, become a confident trader before the squeeze happens. It's going to allow you to be at peace with the decisions you make. But yes, we will all be here and we will be pointing everything out and it's going to be good. What is this? Cecilio. What's up, Clay? What's up, Cecilio? How you doing? My friend was in Texas and there was a semi-truck driving and had buy AMC to the moon written on the back of it. Mishi, very nice. Can you explain how hard the squeeze will be on AMC? Nancy, very hard. Very hard, Nancy. Thank you for being a YouTuber who does most to respond, if not all, the chat. Hey, I try my best to respond to every single person. It's very difficult when a lot of chat is moving across the screen. I mean, you guys, obviously, you realize that. But hey, you know, if I don't get to your question, please feel free to copy and paste it right back in there. That's why I need somebody to sit in the peak. Thanks, Claybro. Well, hey, Gabriel. Nobody can judge the peak perfectly, right? There are indicators that we can look at to say that this is potentially the peak and stuff like that. But nobody can say that this is the top, guys. You can't judge that perfectly. Ron Jeremy's also known as the hedgehog. Hey, we might need him on board then. If hedge funds lose all their money, could they fire their employees? Then we can give them jobs, Tyler. Absolutely. If they lose all their money and they don't have any money to manage, then they won't have any money to pay their employees. Man, everybody's got semis with AMC written on it. I like it. Be a couple-day event or it'll be over a couple months. Arnold, if literally nobody sells their shares, it could be a couple months, okay? But if you go out there and you see that 1 billion shares are being traded on AMC, then yeah, it's looking like it could be a couple-hour event. So it just depends on the intensity and the speed at which these shares can get bought up. Fifi, get a Twitter and then follow me on Twitter. And if you guys have not been able to follow me yet, Claybro883 at Twitter. And you can check the link in the description below to get that. Oh my gosh. Rocket, thank you very much for the super chat. Guys, we all know this is going to be a bumpy ride. Yes, absolutely. Smile, laugh, keep it light, and enjoy the ride. This is half the fun. This squeeze could be next week. It could be 6 months from now. Stay loose and smile. 100% Rocket. Very good advice. We are in it. If we stay light, if we stay together, we're going to benefit from it. Long live Ethiopia. Thank you very much for the super chat. Why doesn't a big firm or individual buy in the millions and make the squeeze happen, like the Volkswagen Porsche situation, holding 66.59 shares? Very nice, Long live. Here's the deal. They could. I believe that a firm could come in, push the price higher. One of these billionaires out there could come in, push the price higher if they absolutely needed to, or if they absolutely wanted to, I should say. But it's a risk, it's a risk. And if they're going to be putting billions of dollars down to drive the price higher, that's a risk for them, man. And it's not to say that it would guarantee push the price above where it needs to go to trigger a short squeeze. And I don't know if they're quite on board yet with doing that and taking a risk with billions of dollars. You take it more for a year. Can it take more for a year for the squeeze? David. It could take more for a year if they continue to sit here and play games with us, man. If they continue to sit here and play games. But here's the deal. Let's say it does take more than a year. Aren't you going to be happy with the size of your portfolio a year from now? Aren't you? I mean, I'm going to be happy. Whether my squeeze happens tomorrow or a year from now, I'm going to be happy with the size of my portfolio due to the squeeze. No dates, but many believe we are on the cusp. Hey, I believe that we could be there as well. I believe that we're getting pretty close. So there are no dates for sure, but it's definitely something that I think I'm excited about. Can you make a video talking about when the squeeze happens, that it will go to like 1,000, back down to 250, and back up? I think people will sell. Nefster, I could do a video talking about the volatility on the squeeze. Here's the deal, guys. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to need to get off here and do a video here pretty soon so I can get one out this evening. Let's hear a couple ideas on maybe some topics for the video tonight that you guys would like to see. And then we'll kind of pick one, see what a good thing would be. And then I'll get off here, be able to get that video out at a decent time. And then as you guys know, don't forget to click that like button. I know we've been in here for quite a while. You may have forgot. Don't forget to click that like button. Maybe the Wanda thing might be good for tonight. To talk about Wanda and selling off those shares, that might be pretty good. How would you go about setting up an exit plan? Okay, exit plan. If it goes over a year, you pay less taxes also. Tom, that is an excellent idea there. Wonderful idea. Yes. That would be amazing if we all had to pay long-term capital gains taxes. Claybro's only fan page for Nancy. Maybe one day, who knows? Citadel subsidiary affiliate companies. When to sell. Andre, when to sell could be one. I like these. I might be leaning a little bit towards Wanda at the moment, but an exit plan strategy also too. Shave those eyebrows, Claybro. Carissa, glad to see you showed up today. What M. James said. What did M. James say? Affiliates? Subsidiary affiliate companies? I don't know if I could do that one tonight. I want something that I wouldn't have to look up a ton of information on it and put something huge together. If I was going to do that, I would rather do it like if I was already looking stuff up during the day, or, if it's something in general. Please do not shave your eyebrows. I'm thinking that's not too likely to happen. On what you're gonna buy after AMC, okay. Can't find my DD on that. I saw it a while back. It's driving me nuts. M. James, man, if you can find it, you can send it to me on Twitter for sure. How do we combat the hedge funds stair-stepping us? Okay. Is AMC gonna dip hard before a big squeeze? It possibly could, Angelo. If you're waiting for that, I don't know if that's a good strategy to wait and try and jump in on that. Ted, I'm hoping it goes up, man. I'm hoping it goes up. All right, guys, here's the deal. We're going to wind this thing down. If you want a shout-out, if you're brand new in here, if you just subscribed, let me know that you're brand new and you just subscribed to the channel. I'll try to shout you out as we wind this thing down and sign off. First live stream. Sorry I didn't see that one as quick. What's going to be the first big purchase? I don't have anything. I'm just reinvesting. If I have something, if you direct message me on Twitter, I'll check for MJames007 on there. So what's up every day? I don't get seen. Army, you just got Saul right now. What is up, Army? Thank you for being in here every single day. I appreciate that very much. Guys, it's very difficult to see all of the stuff. Debbie, we love you too. Thank you for being in here. First chat, love it, man. Kyle, thank you for being in here. Have a great weekend. You too as well, Matthew. Guys, I don't think I do live streams on the weekend, so I'll probably be back Monday And I'll get videos out during the weekend, absolutely. But Carissa, see you. Well, you'll see a video tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be live streaming tomorrow. Carissa, thank you for being in here. Shout out to the Kia Forte. Absolutely. M. James, thank you. Have a great weekend, Mitch. You too. Monday. Yes, Chris, I will definitely be back on Monday. Bought 40 more yesterday. Very nice, Matt. Thanks for the live stream, bro. Absolutely, SK. Thank you for being in here. Loving the daily videos, man. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate that. Rocket from Hydra. I like it, guys. I like it very much. Can we get the likes above the amount of people in here? We got 268 people, 259 likes. Moon or homeless? Joe, that is an all or nothing strategy. Absolutely. Enjoy your weekend, bro. You too as well. Thank you very much. Thanks, bro. See you Monday. Long live. Thank you very much for the super chat today. Thank you. Hope you have a good weekend as well. Citadel, no, do not sell. Not the first time. Marquise, not the first time. It is not the first time. Bye, Nancy Grace. Have a wonderful evening and good weekend to you. Great live stream. Thank you very much, SK. AMC, baby, hold. All right, guys, I am new. Tom, you are not new. Here's the deal, guys. Make sure to check the link out for Twitter. We got a link if you're into crypto, Binance, link for Webull. Make sure to use that as well. And follow me on Twitter, like I said. Oh, and if you guys want to say it with me. So until the next time, I hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful day or an awesome day.